Hello, everybody. We are in week 6 of the We Like Dota League. We've got another cross division matchup, this time between GREGBOYS and No Limits. I'm Whitehawk. I'm joined tonight by Chio. How are you doing tonight? Always glad to have you. Yep. Yeah. It's actually a little interesting seeing the team with first pick Ben Lena. I feel like lately it's felt like if you have second pick, it is you ban Lena and one other hero. But Greg Boy has apparently no intention to pick it themselves, and Bea is a player who can certainly play this hero, has shown it at least once already in the league. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Don't want to give a lot of comfort to the highest MMR player in. Mhm. Wow. Yeah, No Limits has also shown the Lich Grim combo before, which makes it really messes with your draft when you see a Lich. Um, I think more so on first pick than second pick. Um, but that was a challenge that we had playing against No Limits was okay, they picked the Lich. We're willing to play the Grim, so do we take it to take it away from them? Do we let it through? It's an interesting specific scenario with that hero. GREGBOYS opt for the Witch Doctor, popular hero of WLDL, classic position 5 that just runs train on the early game, and we've seen some late game Witch Doctors in this league too. Mhm. Yeah, not a lot of teams doing the yeah. Yeah, not a lot of teams doing the Witch Doctor IO combo with the core Witch Doctor. Some teams have. Um, but yeah, just as a support, I think a lot of people aren't as comfortable playing against the absurd amount of damage that the support can dish out. Mm-hmm. Mhm. We're gonna get most likely all 4 supports in this first phase as the Shadow Demon gets picked up, which is a pretty nice save, um, into some of this single target lockdown that No Limits has picked up. So I like the Shadow Demon pick up early. Yeah, definitely a game where spell immunity is looking good. Um, Definitely gonna want some more resilient cores like Crystal Maiden, Lion, Witch Doctor, and honestly Shadow Demon. Probably the least of the 4, but still not bad. All are pretty high damage supports. Um, Pretty squishy as well, though. You don't have like a Treant Protector or a Snapfire or a Tusk kind of support, um, where they have more durability out of the support position. These are all 4 backline squishy damage supports. So I'd expect to see some kind of backline jump, probably something more durable, something that can withstand the lockdown that these heroes have if you're able to um, get past the disables that they bring out. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. You like a hero that rushes BKB as good as it is in this game means that they're going to have a rough early game trying to get to that BKB. Um, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, Lifestealer could look good here because you're gonna want some tanky frontline like a Tide Hunter, um, to be able to give these backline supports something to stand behind. Um, I think Lifestealer still does well against Tide Hunter because he has the max health removal. Doesn't care as much about the damage block because his normal attack damage isn't where a ton of his damage is coming from. Um, mhm. Yeah, hmm, yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little distracted. Somebody just pointed out that my audio is not working quite right. No. Yeah, that's just my voice coming through. It looks like they're not getting sound from Dota either. So there's something up there. Um audio. Okay, things might get a little messed up with audio for a moment.
Just gotta do some emergency fixes.
Oh, I think that's
Happens.
working. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay,
Should be
I'm
good.
seeing
Yeah. Alright.
I'm seeing audio signals. Sorry about that, everyone.
Nice.
Luckily, No
All
Limits
good.
gave me a little bit of time as they get deeper into their
Yep, they went
time.
all the way down to 17 seconds and then they picked SF.
Yeah, I like the SF here. Should be a good hero for Bea, I assume is where they're gonna play it. Can be played mid or safe. But that to me reads as a Bea hero. Third most played hero all time, it looks like. So
Yeah.
where I expect
There's
that to end
probably
up.
a world where you can lane at bottom against the Axe Witch Doctor, but I think it's just like not a hero that will play in one position. It definitely seems like a Bea hero in terms of like, you know, he wants to be on something that has good scaling, and SF right click is, you know, recently has been incredibly good, so it'll be nice for him. The only concern is that, like, I feel like these 4 heroes all died to the Melodic taunt.
Yeah. And I don't know
I'm not sure how they fix that though.
Answer that. Yeah.
10 seconds remain. Maybe like if they look back towards the Night Stalker, although Kid Magic isn't on the team because he's out at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one of the ways you can combat that, yeah, right. Like maybe you look for something with vision. Night Stalker band makes sense because that would have given them the nighttime vision that they needed against the Axe to stop him from finding his blinks.
Mm-hmm.
So Praetor Pudge banned away. All these bans are just targeted. Jeez.
Yeah, we're deep enough into the league now that teams are all starting to get a good sense of what each other play. And it definitely starts to show up of knowing team strategies. You know, what are we ready to play against? What do we not want to play against, especially with the lineups that so far. And very, very similar lineups from each of these teams. Like, and even the order they picked them. This feels like a almost direct mirror of each other. Like, high damage, position 5, a position 4. I mean, Shadow Demon's more of a saver than a nuker like Lion, but then you've got like the tanky catch frontline position 3. Oh, they're gonna go for a Zeus, so more backline damage like these Luna and Shadow Fiend are offering.
Yeah, one of the main issues why, like, sorry, that was worded poorly. One of the issues that SF has in pro play and why he kind of got phased out a little bit compared to the other right clears at the time is that even when he gets BKB, he's pretty kiteable, and right now they don't really have ways to lock people down without just the Lion CM blink, because they have Ravage, and then after Ravage, if they can make space for themselves with the Shadow Demon and, you know, Heavenly Jump now, we'll get Luna BKB later, the SF could potentially find issues hitting people. Now that issue doesn't exist so much for Sniper because he just has double the attack range as SF.
Yep. And it is going to be a safe lane Shadow Fiend mid Sniper with this last pick. So I imagine
Do you prefer this?
To kind of fix the lane matchup. I take it No Limits didn't like the lane matchup of Shadow Fiend and Zeus, and I'm guessing that's why GREGBOYS grabbed the Zeus. And so they respond to it with the sniper. Do you agree with that? Because you know mid matchups better than I do.
I think SF versus Zeus is playable. It's one of those matchups where you start nuking waves and like farm creeps like normal, right? But I think SF has a really big advantage in being able to pressure. He's not so easily countered by stick. His nukes do a lot more damage, and Zeus is really squishy. So even from level 1, if you manage to hit 2 or 3 good raises, the Zeus can have a really hard time laning, just as long as you can be really accurate. And I think Bale would have the skill to do that. I think the sniper lane is probably less explosive, but overall it's not the worst. It also lets your SF play into the axe, which is probably better. I think if you were to put the SF mid, you would struggle to find a nice lane matchup against the Axe Witch Doctor. But the SF can probably do fine, especially with the Crystal Maiden behind him, just to keep them in place for the raises. I think the lane matchups are okay. Who do you think wins the Hat War, though? There's a plain Crystal Maiden, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the no-set Crystal Maiden makes me give it to GREGBOYS. But big shout out to the Plaid Pirate jumping in as a stand-in for No Limits, rocking this pirate hat on Tide Hunter. That is not enough to win the hats draft, but definitely warrants a shout out here. Look at this guy.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a cute pirate hat.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Praetor has renamed himself Esteemed Mid. Probably because I overtook his place as the most toxic hero pool, but it's fine. He's reformed, guys. He's reformed. No more anti-mage, no more earthshakers. Oh, pause comes out. It's only alright. Contact issues. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe like Discord, but
okay. No, contact lens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That is a very reasonable reason to.
No. Dota is a game playable without vision. Just turn off your monitor. You play infinitely better. Just click somewhere random. Click a spell. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably whiff. But, like, that's irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to land abilities in this game. Honestly, that's overrated. Premises knows. Like, inability to cast abilities.
Just...
That was poor wording. But anyway.
Just play Sniper and A-click everywhere. And eventually you will kill people. Like, you don't need to click buttons. You don't need to target anything. The game can do it for you.
Plus they're in comms, so they'll be like, oh, well, you're actually hitting someone that we need you to hit, or not. You know what I mean? Like, attack someone, like, this direction from your hero, which you'll probably have an idea of. Who knows?
Flawless strategy.
It works 9 times out of 10. That's all sniper players, just A-click the ground. We'll see if Bayo does anything different. Bayo has a stick there, so it's already a plus. Some kudos to him for the basic itemization. Feels good. Zeus against stick feels pretty bad. Let's still do a quick check of starting items, because some of these look a bit interesting. Yep. Sorry, I tricked myself. We got Vlad starting to rush the Bracer, which is interesting. We have a Ring of Health rush on Tide as well. The Tide doesn't have stats, but it has 2 Tangos and 2 Mangoes as well, so it has regen at least.
Oh, heck. I can't believe you've done this.
Axe likes this very much.
Well, what did you expect?
Yeah, Steamed mid definitely rushing the bottle, and the Zeus just has a Clarity and an Iron Branch. On deck.
Thanks.
Do you think the lack of stats on Zeus affects the mid matchup? Probably shouldn't, right? Like, he'll get the bottle soon enough.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
The only world I see it being potentially bad is if Baeos, like, uses multiple shrapnels on the first wave, which you probably don't want to do as a sniper, but might be like a last-second adjustment if he sees the items in time.
30 seconds to
you see them pinging out the ward spot, so GREGBOYS is probably going to instantly sentry that if Bayo puts it down. So far, he hasn't done it just yet. Good luck, have fun. Very nice. It seems both know each other, right? I think they because Bea is just an active member of the community. Yeah.
Yeah, No Limits was around as a team last season as well, and I think these are all known names on the side of GREGBOYS.
Alright, a 2-2 split on the bounties.
Yep. Nothing too exciting for the runes.
You cowards, said played pirate. Unlucky.
Oh, look at it go!
Yeah, GREGBOYS didn't do that patented 5-man smoke. Didn't work this time around. I knew we'd get called out. I was against it. Yeah, this is gonna be a chill games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of love between these teams, evidently.
Standing in, but is also you can't see it in pro game, but is also a member of the community. Oh,
and have fun.
and I've immediately missed an incredibly fast first blood, followed by the technically illegal cross-team tip from the dying sniper. That is clearly a respect tip, so I don't think there will be too much bad blood around that. But man,
Huh?
that's
not supposed to happen.
no. And it looks like it was just 4 arc lightnings that killed this sniper.
Bea, yeah. Well, Bea is going to be really behind on XP now. That was the whole, like, 4 creeps that he missed XP on almost. I think he may have only been 3. But, yeah, I mean, he comes back to lane is already at the same HP as the Zeus yet again because the bottle region.
Yep.
And we'll see if Bea finds the ward, because I think if he can't get rid of the ward, this lane gets really hard. Especially with the first death. Meanwhile, the other lanes all pretty quiet. Uranium Heart's getting zoned off the wave, so good stuff from Pirate already. But overall shouldn't be too bad. The courier doesn't drop, it lives on one more hit left. Yeah, no, overall these lanes are going to be pretty quiet for the first couple of levels, but what do you think is like the level timing that the supports are looking for?
Witch Doctor level 2, level 3 is always really scary. And with an axe, like, it's a decent amount of damage to throw into a Maledict. So I expect that Azrael and Crimson's gonna have to be careful down in the spot lane. Top side, I don't know Shadow Demon as well, but I expect this to be pretty quiet. I expect Luna doesn't want too much action in the lane, and a Tide Hunter is always just kind of happy sitting there, taking whatever beating comes out, and smashing waves until he gets a Blink Dagger.
Yeah. I think in terms of like the GREGBOYS safe lane, I think the level 3 might be pretty huge, right? You get the level 2 Lucent Beam, which doubles its damage. Shadow Poison gets 50% more damage as well. Or they could even opt to go for the Disseminate if that's the route they want to opt for, but...
Yeah, that's true.
I think the, what skill Greg takes on the level 3 might be pretty important, but I think it's just the Uranium Heart level 3 is what they're mainly looking for. Because Played Pirate is doing a good job of denying stuff so far, and the wave is almost perfect for them, so I'd imagine not too much aggression to come out like under the tower or anything. But with no levels in the Kraken Shell, it's gonna get clicked a lot by these double ranged.
Yeah, I always like an earlier level in Kraken Shell. We'll see if it gets picked up here at level 3. No, it goes to second level of Anchor Smash. So not too worried about the damage being taken up to this point. And I mean, as far as farming going, is 15 and 5 so far, so it's not hurting too bad. As these level 3s on the other side come out, might see a little more action.
Mid lane, Bea's like doing fine as well. Obviously the early death kind of hurts in terms of just sheer net worth. But overall, it's he's been surviving pretty nicely. He found the ward as well, so he'll live through that. Bottom lane also has hit level 3. Didn't talk about this, but the level 2 raises might actually be really huge if he can nail them. But with no mangoes, he might not have the mana.
Yeah, it does have the
just
wand
pressure them.
though. And there should be a decent amount of spells coming out in this lane.
You'd imagine they start looking for aggression really quick. He's in frostbite range, but they're gonna opt to just you know, I think they're also happy if not too much is happening. Just because I think with the way the draft shapes up with all the armor corruption, it's just on Bayo to just hit things from afar, right? And SF probably could use a really tanky build just so he doesn't die to the Zeus and Blade Mail from Axe all the time. So you'll probably see him go like a really early Skadi Satanic, obviously a BKB of his own, and then Bayo can kind of just sit behind everyone because there's a limited backline jump and just like do a lot of damage all himself. He definitely has the game for it. He's gotten double Praetor's denies despite that early death. Yeah. So the XP lead is actually in Bayo's favor yet again, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
but the network
really
difference
nice bounce
is
back there.
yeah. An extra small item for Praetor, but overall Bayo doing good. And this is probably what they were looking for when they got the as Praetor steps up pretty far forward, has to jump, but Bayo ready to punish that with the shrapnel. Unfortunately, just didn't have it in the right spot to the turbulent jump.
Here comes the first assassinate as Bayo hits 6. Not gonna find a kill, but it's gonna be hard for Esteen mid to step back up into this lane. That wand paying off dividends, just full heal immediately. Sniper steps back.
Yeah.
Something else they
has the haste rune as well. Uh-oh. Praetor is stepped up a little bit far. Does he find the shrapnel vision? He doesn't. So he can't get the assassinate off. That would have killed him. Unfortunately, Bayo just didn't opt to go for it. At this stage, it's probably better even to just let the Zeus sit on 0 mana. I mean, he only has enough from the bounties to cast a little, you know, like 3 or 4 more arc lightnings. So there's still an extra wave or 2 left, but yeah, I mean, Bayo's starting to kind of hurt in this mid matchup. Just looking at the other lanes, I don't know. The early game has been really quiet. There's not too much to talk about. Luna caught back up in farm as she does with levels. Opted for just the 1 level in Lucifer, as she's actually getting run at right now. The disruption makes a lot of space, so no kill to be had there, but the Gush is starting to put in work. You'd imagine if they had the Hex and Lion, that might have gone a little bit differently. Yeah. But even then, Greg just doing a good job of making space for the Luna to make sure she doesn't die. But the last hit's certainly not like that amazing, as Bayo just gonna stack. Well, jungling instead. Alright, cool. Do you think the sniper should be jungling? Do you think she should be like pressuring the tower more? What do you think the sniper's job in this game is against the Zeus?
I feel like the way the lane's gone, he has the room to jungle or to lane harder and push into the tower more. Like is up a level. Ooh, his bot lane. Popo almost going down.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the last race because it was on cooldown, but a lot of damage taken, which is, you know, really good for them. But Purple's just gonna heal up with the Voodoo. Has to stay a little bit out of vision, but for now he'll be safe. The level 5 kicking in for the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, when I talked about Bayo playing the Shadow Fiend, I didn't look close enough at my notes because this is a level 30 Shadow Fiend on Slaymate. This is Slaymate's most played hero all time. Something we haven't seen as much because Slaymate's mostly been playing in the off lane for No Limits, with Kid Magic in the safe lane. But yeah, this is a big Shadow Fiend.
Oh my, yeah, he has 1300 Shadow Fiend games. Alright, I did not catch that, actually. Huh. Yeah.
I'll play in
Uranium Heart. 100 HP, but has the Earth Spike.
Oh, the Earth Spike does
going to drop. Nice. The first kill on the board. A little bit of mental pressure off. No, that's just gonna feel good. Especially considering play price is standing. It's like nice to have that kind of synergy.
Yeah.
Or at least get that lane going nicely. I feel like the laning phase is like one of the scariest parts of the stand-in, like if you're in a duo lane with someone as well. Because it's like you're playing a pub, but the rest of your team is not playing a pub.
Yeah. There's definitely there's that level of pressure there that's not always the same level of comfort with your team.
Uranium Heart is just gonna get a full mana drain by Vlad. He has to again.
Really nice double Earth Spike there.
Yeah.
So as soon as Uranium Heart comes back to lane, under a ton of pressure, this Lion Tide under lane. Bot side is
You have
mid
the
gonna make a
ability to
rotation.
Oh,
Azrael and Crimson is maledicted. CM will go down. Slaymate's still walking up though.
I don't think Slaymat has a way to get out of this. He's trying to juke around the trees.
Baya's gonna rotate in to try to help. They get the taunt onto Slaymate though.
Okay, they can't get the trade back on the mid. That's really big for them. There's no call for 10 seconds. If
Yeah.
Baya just turns straight and run, like, there's no kill here. Has the wand available. X team might look for the dive, but gonna opt against it. Even though he has the Vanguard, not feeling comfortable enough against the Baya sniper, so.
Yeah,
Let's
and
see
when
if he trade, but overall.
4 points
Yeah.
in counter helix, so the Battle Hunger wasn't doing too much damage. I think if it was a Battle Hunger heavy build, we probably would have seen X2 dive there.
Yeah, potentially. As another haste stream for Baya. Prado walked up for this. He has the heavenly jump, but you could see Baya even potentially put pressure mid. Shadow Game is TPing in, but dude, the bottom safe lane is already here. Slaymate's mid for some reason. As we'll see if we can get something out of this. 2 raises connect.
Yeah,
but he's just getting kited.
mid to cover after the death, but now ends up being
Yeah,
one
but
in
Baya
trouble
just ran
here.
straight back to mid. So this a little bit awkward, like map positioning now. As I mean, they're probably gonna give the safe lane tower over. That's probably what they were planning. You can see Azrael's gonna nick out the wave, but you know, with the cart wave and Axe being as strong as he is, you probably don't want to defend that too heavily. It's just SF might have a bit of trouble like finding space now. You kind of has to wait for this tower to drop, and since the wave got nuked out by Azrael, he doesn't have a lane to return to for a couple minutes.
Maybe we'll look to make a rotation here with Vlad coming down as well. We can get the Hex onto Axe, set things up, but Slaymate doesn't seem to be interested. Just wants to go find that farm, which makes sense at this point in the game. That's a hard kill to bring down, and you're not far from a tower that people can rotate into if you don't find that kill quickly.
Yeah, just they don't have the damage to nick the Axe down. He already has 1300 HP in 12 minutes, so they can also just leave him be. I don't think it hurts them in the slightest. Just keep more pressure around mid, where Prado is almost fully dead to the assassinate if he can get it off in time without dying. The Thunder God's Wrath is available, but he doesn't have the cast range, so Baya will live. Nice strength tread switch. Meanwhile, top lane, Ravage and Finger comes out. Uranium Heart's gonna drop again. Greg gets to cut the tree with the Tango, so he'll walk through into the tower.
Radiant's bottom
Yep.
tower is in
It's a nice pickup
Another
for the first
huge win.
Ravage. Nothing
Yeah.
huge, but you get to kill on the safe lane core, that's all you really want.
And at this stage of the game, like, neither team really wants to death ball, right?
Yeah.
So there's not really like a pressure to keep this Ravage cooldown up. As everyone's kind of going to be splitting the map, they want to get items. Axe is still looking for blinks, he still needs a couple items on top of the Aether. So, overall,
Yeah, if you go looking for a team fight at this point in the game, your Sniper and Shadow Fiend are probably both not interested in joining. And you do have high damage support, so you can definitely make things happen, but not like a huge fight. They're gonna keep applying the pressure top, Popo rotating up here. Join in. Azrael's gonna
but
commit
nice
to the
freezing
freezing
field.
field. Have to dodge away.
They still have the Maledict Death Ward if they're looking for something. I just wanted to point out, Uranium Heart has a Midas rush on the Luna. So, in terms of net worth, sitting well behind the Sniper and Tide, but still ahead of the Shadow Fiend. He now has bottom space to play in. As a Slaymate's actually rushing the Blink Dagger. That's certainly interesting. So, I talked about how, you know, you're gonna have Bale kind of just carry the game from the backline, right? And Slaymate's build seems to definitely be gearing towards that, though I don't know how much I like not having a second core against this lineup.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how the build kind of finishes it out. I mean, is going for the shard build, which yeah, I guess is a bit more of the same build as mid lane.
Oh, Bea.
They're gonna get the call onto Bea, but they'll get their return kill with the shrapnel. They get the Hex onto Axe. If they can get some more support, Flat on the Ocean might be able to find something here. They'll just retreat.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Vlad was just a little bit too far away. Bea did an excellent job of cancelling the blink, so XD missed his call, but managed to just blink into the Sniper once that came back up and just cut him down with the Culling Blade. So over a 1-for-1 trade, though, is not the worst.
Yep. It's about similar gold. Actually, more gold going to Bea there.
He's 100 gold now from the Maelstrom.
I guess the most gold goes to X. Team gold
Yep.
goes in favor of No Limits.
I mean, this Axe is just having a scarily good game. Already has the Blink Vanguard looking towards the Blade Mail now as well.
Yeah. This Sniper and SF will just absolutely shred themselves if this Axe gets a good call on them.
Yeah. The only concern might be that he doesn't have mana, but once the supports start playing around him, they already have a Bassi, so that'll help a little bit.
We're gonna smoke up towards the top lane. They have Ravage available, so likely looking to make a player on that, but it looks like they're not gonna find much more than Greg on this Shadow Demon. Actually,
Radiant
might not even
farming
spot.
on a ward, so Vlad can start running at him under the smirk.
Yeah, they're looking for
Question is
Uranium
if they
Heart
have the
here.
damage. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely looking for this. Uranium Heart probably has an idea something's up. Or he's just doing his natural rotation. They ping out where he's farming now.
Yep, they're
And
gonna
they don't
start
have
out
the
the
vision, so-
Assassinate into the Hex. And the finger.
With the
death
finger?
is gonna die.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
Clean execution. Good warding. They just had that out of the range of the sentry. So a little bit unfortunate from Greg. Missed that high ground ward. As they're gonna wrap back towards top, they do have Ravage, as you said, so they might look to pressure that. Slaymate's relieving the pressure mid, coming from Praetor. He now has the Aether completed, so we'll disassemble the boots for that. We'll see if they opt to defend the tower now that they have a couple items. Blade Mail's 400 gold away, so they could just opt to give this. Greg's gonna throw himself on the Shrapnel. As Earthlight comes in, they have the Hex as well. And Greg's surely going to fall. He gets the disruption off of the Lion, but he'll die for that. So, yeah, nicely done from them. Unfortunately, the cart, they didn't tank for the cart. So a little bit less tower damage. They're not going to push the tower. A little bit scared about the potential rotations coming in.
yeah. The disruption illusions actually pull creeps off of the tower a bit.
Top tower is in danger.
Yeah. There's a they just look a little bit lost. Like they're not sure if they want to contest this or not. And bottom lane, there's a lot of creeps coming into the tower. Someone's gonna move there eventually, but doesn't commit the CP. So more than half of the triple wave has died. And
Now
they're gonna
finally, as they
finally
commit,
start
here
hitting
comes the
this.
rotation.
XP misses the blink.
Oh, this could be.
Up, they have the
both
freedom field.
offlaners are kind of in the back on the opposite side. Plaid Pirate is coming very low. That Thunder God's Wrath is going to eventually cause him to take out to the Maledict. Ezreal and Crimson
Ezreal
looking
is
to
gonna
escape
try to
away, but they
TP.
have the Thunderbolt.
Greg Shadow Poison giving them the vision they need to secure that lightning bolt.
Yep.
As Uranium Heart, meanwhile, is just farming bottom, has a Mask of Madness with the treads. So already back up to the top of the last hits. Considering his early laning phase was not that amazing, he's caught up pretty well. So, I mean, overall, a good fight for GREGBOYS. Winner gets space bottom, can stop Slayman from pressuring this tower if he opts to do so, but there's not many TPs from the rest of his team. Zeus has one, Witch Doctor has one. Gonna blink away from Slaymate. I mean, one of the things that I didn't talk about much was like the Blink Dagger lets him nuke waves and then get off the map really fast, which makes it quite hard to kind of set up on him, as it's hard to read where he's moving when he blinks away. Unless you have really good instincts, it's hard to, like, you know, pinpoint the camp that he's moving to, if he's going into the trees, kind of like that. So there's a lot of space he can make bottom just by keeping these waves shoved in.
Yeah.
Because Uranium's Heart, like, Uranium Heart's map is going to be pretty small. He doesn't want to play top because they're looking for the top tower, right? And he knows that the jungle is probably warded as he died there. Speaking of though, he's just going to TP top casually. So ignoring exactly what I said, he's going to TP into the Tide Hunter. We'll see if they can punish this at all. Bear is already running back towards top. His Uranium Heart has to retreat back into the jungle. See some arrows drawn by Bale, so they're probably looking for this soon.
Meanwhile, GREGBOYS is going to rotate down and maybe try to find Slaymate here. They're going to smoke up in the Radiant jungle. They've got an idea of where the Shadow Fiend might be.
They dropped the Observer Ward on him, so they know where he is, but they will have to die for it.
Topside,
Meanwhile,
they find the kill on
killed-
Uranium Heart.
Yeah. Another Finger of Death kill. didn't even have to commit the Ravage. It's still on cooldown, so
They're getting the blink onto Bea. Slaymate jumps in as well, but immediately the dunk is there, and now Shadow Fiend is caught out of position. Dunk doesn't quite connect, but his team mid will be able to clean it up. So they end up getting
blink.
more than they were looking for there. Yeah, the blink from Shadow Fiend is a little weird. Azrael and Crimson stepping out. A little bit of dangerous
the
space.
spike! Was almost good. Almost had the 2-man caught in there. Ravage might be expended now.
Ooh, big
They don't
Ravage
have
actually.
Earthquake for
It's
just
gonna
a
pick up
second.
the kill. Azrael and Crimson able to pop down. Freezing Field has to cancel it into the Blade Mail, but still casts the spell a little too early and goes down. X2 gonna be forced to walk away. Blood on the Ocean a little low as well. So this will still play out in GREGBOYS' favor. But No Limit's at least picking up the Zeus here.
Yeah, GREGBOYS is starting to find really good fights. Bea is still keeping on top of the net worth, like alongside Praetor, but the rest of the cores are starting to scale really fast. I mean, there's probably a world where they just high ground defense because they have Ravage and a Sniper and Requiem, so like their high ground defense is quite formidable, but they're gonna lose control this early game, and that's kind of really bad against the Luna.
Yeah.
I feel like if Luna doesn't get ahead, then it's kind of hard to play the hero, just because they have such short range. And with the Midas build, like she's getting away with this Midas. It's
for sure.
doing really good for her. She's already same level as Bea now.
Yeah, I'm curious how the high ground will play if GREGBOYS continue this early lead. Because like you said, you have such strong high ground defense on the No Limit side with Sniper and Tidehunter, but Luna is like the core to go high ground with. Just as soon, I mean, it kind of requires getting a pick, but then as soon as you start hitting buildings, the buildings disappear.
Yeah, if they can break the tier 3 tower, then they can high ground really fast. It just... Getting to that point is probably rough, unless they get a really catastrophic fight, like... Or, I don't know. Could be weird. Bea gonna opt to rush the Gleipnir.
Steam mid,
kind of
gonna run it,
atypical.
Bea. There's a lot of damage here.
Praetor
Praetor
doesn't
Draft
have the
is
Thunder
just coming up,
Gods.
but not enough mana, and the Assassinate... Oh, gets the kill to interrupt the Assassinate. Plaid Pirate will finish it off, though. So they end up trading. That was
I mean, he just has to
really
shut down
close
Bea,
one.
right? Yeah. If Bea turned and hit maybe a little bit faster, like, I don't know, it's like... It's so awkward, because he almost made it around the tree, but unfortunately the Juke just doesn't work against the Thunderbolt. Like the Lightning Bolt, just, I don't know. Being able to ground target that kind of ruined that play for Bea, I think. And the Assassinate, unfortunately, didn't come out. You could have maybe seen him pop his smirk to dodge the Thunder Gods, that would have been really sick. But maybe not worth expending that when he was about to hit the Gleipnir.
Yeah. I was just laughing because I was watching mid lane. A single mana drain just evaporated all of X2's mana pool on the Axe.
Yeah.
Azrael came in with the Frostbite to root.
Speaking of Axe, though,
Really nice call.
read it from
On a
somebody.
Slaymate, oh, but the counter with the Ravage. They get onto a Steam mid, and they're going to bring down Axe. Slaymate does get maledicted and takes a few hits, can just try to TP home to regen up. Azrael and Crimson taking most of the heat from the Death Lord. Steam mid does manage to survive the Ravage, and now Plaid Pirate is out of mana, trying to back away, but the supports and Zeus are just going to slowly run down this Tidehunter, potentially. Blood on the Ocean's going to wrap around behind, gets the Earth Spike in the finger, picks off a Steam mid very nicely. Tidehunter's maledicted, the damage is coming out. Will it be enough from Popo?
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Slaymate's back in this fight too, has the blink.
Yes, sets up.
Nice Requiem, gets Greg. Crit down with the shard.
Yeah,
Huge fight.
really.
4k lead already evaporated down to 1k. Tanky boy.
Will you come
XD.
hands with me?
I mean, once the Zeus died, they just didn't have the damage, right? I mean, a huge pickup from Vlad.
Yeah,
Kind of salvaging that fight for them.
the counter initiation there from No Limits was really insane. Starting with the Ravage to interrupt the call, Slaymate getting away and then getting back in,
Money changes hands.
which I'm not even entirely sure how that happened. It seemed like he TP'd twice in no amount of time.
This guy's crazy.
But
Yeah,
think
I mean,
that fight was
a
just
lot of
that
things
drawn
kind
out.
of went wrong there. Like, the blink was good, but there was a really, like, I didn't know how many stacks it was, but it seemed like there was a lot of stacks on the wand, because Flamer just almost fully healed, and then the Death Ward didn't quite have the vision through the trees, so he managed to only take like 2 or 3 hits, TP'd out, just walked back. The fight took ages, so that was really, really close. Now, also, while we were talking, literally blink dodged the call, so that was almost disastrous. It was pushing the mid tower, got blinked on from vision, and just blinked away. So, I mean, Slatemate's doing good with this. Already has the BKB like 600, 700 gold away.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can't math it, it's more like 800, but it's fine.
Has the shard too, which I feel like I haven't been seeing much on Shadow Fiends. But I like the idea of it. I like that you get this little mini fear on the attacks.
The idea is that you can like either Requiem from out of vision or blink fear into like 2 raises or even 3 if you're fast. But yeah, the idea that I've seen of it is you Requiem out of vision, it hits, you connect your second and third spell raises because they have distance, and then you blink, you fear again, and then you get your last raise along with the crit.
Okay.
So overall, a lot of damage. You get a triple raise plus your Requiem plus like however many auto attacks you can fit. So it's definitely good at nuking down these kind of squishy heroes. The only thing that might be rough is getting the Requiem off.
Smoke Drainage, choose to go for Steam mid, gets the jump away, but with all 5 heroes here, there's really no way out. Just so much damage from both of these teams.
From Baal, finding good value. Yeah. Like, they're gonna grab this mid tower, but X2's shoving in a cart bottom, so they'll have to kind of reset the map state. Because they might look for Uranium Heart, but he already has, you know, Spidey senses, gonna run away from that, but Bear's heading into the Roche Pit. Okay.
Yeah, they have really fast roasting with the Sniper Shadow Fiend. No one, well...
Yeah, do you have to just give this? The axe has TP, but does a Roche fall in time? There's 4 heroes stacked in the pit. This could be so bad.
I don't think they know what's happening.
To go for it, but I don't think they know.
The scan comes out from Radiant.
So a nice Aegis take for Baal.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been disastrous if GREGBOYS sniffed it out.
Yeah, I think they just weren't expecting them to have so much Roche damage. But with all the minus armor...
It was dead fast without even Tidehunter there for the gush. Like, that was... They Roche fast on this.
Yeah. Lion has the Aghanims completed with the Kaya, so no blink just yet, but his nuke is really, really strong.
Yeah, before they went into the Roche Pit, I was gonna call attention to the Kaya build because I hadn't yet, and that is not what I normally see from a Lion, but it seems to be working. I mean, the nuke, the fact that Lion has, I think a couple times now, been able to completely blow up cores, and like already at 5 finger stacks, like I think this is actually a pretty nice build into the GREGBOYS lineup.
Dude, his ult does 1,020 damage. The Zeus has 1,300 health.
Yeah.
Like, if you get the finger off with Earthspike, he's just dead. Like, he literally just dies.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna get the Aghanim soon, which will help his health bar a little bit, but I mean, overall, like, these cores are really squishy, like, just in terms of raw HP. Uranium Heart's gonna TP top into the 5-man smoke, gets instantly blinked on.
Yep, and just...
Oh, you already see the ag damage.
Oh my goodness.
My god.
How much? Okay, so after the base 250 or 25% magic resist, it's still 830 magical damage, and that was another stack, so now it's more.
Dude, oh, this guy is having a standout game if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. 6-1.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the Finger of Death stack damage, right? Does that show on the tooltip? Or is it just on the HUD?
No,
like as a buff?
Yeah, it only shows on the
this stupid damage. Holy. As a Praetor on 200 mana might just get caught out anyway. the blink doesn't quite latch, but yeah, the shrapnel's not gonna catch him out. They think he went on top
Oh,
of the
do
high
they
ground, so they
spot
won't
it?
spot him. Nice
Oh.
TP away. He's a big guess is wrong on the drop. But
Slaymate's in with the BKB,
Slaymates? He gets the
but is
trade-off,
maledicted.
but he has the one, he has one.
Oh, huge
Oh,
kill.
he doesn't get it off! X2
call.
gets the trade. A nice call, but it was a 1v3 and he got 2 people.
Yeah,
So, overall,
Yes.
doing really nice there.
it secured the kill on
Rushing the Arcane
Slaymate.
Blink as well, yeah.
Might not have been quite worth it.
I mean, if you look at Slaymate's build, he's literally just rushing BKB Arcane Blink for the fast Requiem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are just playing with another 2 offlaners almost.
Oh yeah, that's how No Limits tends to play, as they now look to get a jump on Praetor. Damage is coming out even up the high ground.
Was that the Lion or did it quite have damage? But,
Dyer's
We have
you know,
a few seconds.
just a little bit of friendly love tapping. Baya's gonna get zapped through the pipe. He has Blink, so we'll see if he opts to do something aggressive. I'm just gonna Blink away. Has DD available. Oh my god. A minute left on the Aegis with DD. Surely
Ooh.
they do something. They have Ravage.
Yeah, it looks
But
like
they
they
might
might
just
just
be a bit
run
scared.
down the bottom lane. I'm surprised they're hitting any creeps at this point. With 1 minute left on the Aegis, you've got to be feeling yourselves. Like, this screams go make a play to me. But maybe wants to finish up.
He has the Paladin Sword for the lifesteal as well. So maybe just finishing that up. The rest of the team can re-smirk and kind of reconnect. Like, Vlad's controlling the top triangle, but they're just gonna opt to let the Aegis expire before doing anything else.
Yeah.
So, a reset map state. You'd imagine that was like a good time for them, but yeah, the other 3 members of the team are smirking. So they're gonna look for Praetor, who's gonna show in the tower with no heavily jump. 5 seconds cooldown. Vlad's gonna spot him.
Yep, doesn't
They
have
have
blink.
the cast range though. Oh, with no blink, they don't get it. But wait,
Doesn't get the jump up the high
Praetor turns
ground.
around.
Oh, but now Vlad's in trouble.
Oh, they don't have enough. Yeah.
They're gonna rotate down here, but the Glimmer Cape is gonna be enough to save for now. And now they can disable onto Axe. Slaymate BKBs.
Slaymate.
Doesn't have
Yep.
Blink available
Thanks,
quite
Requiem.
yet. Now Blinks forward onto Popo, but has the Voodoo Switcheroo. And so the next
Oh, the Requiem completely
the
works.
Requiem doesn't hit anything into the Voodoo.
Alright, well, you know, just a bit of cooldown expenditure as we do.
Yeah.
Overall, not a big deal, because I think with Ravage, they're still going to be scared to fight. There's no BKB in the Luna just yet, and no BKB in the Axe. It's 300 and like 1,000 gold and 300 gold respectively. But we'll see them smoke up. So if they push this tower, Baya might just be in a little bit of trouble. Does he have the reflexes? Gets the blink cast with
Ooh.
Nimbus, and he's gonna get cold.
Call
So
is
the Baya's
huge.
down.
Yeah, this should just be Baya dead. Azrael's gonna go down right away. The Ravage is here, hits 3, but how much more do they have in the tank? Lionel comes out. Now your Slaymate's back in, but doesn't have BKB off of that last engagement and just goes down to the damage from the Witch Doctor. And now Vlad is gonna get caught out. It's a nice Earth Spike, but I can't imagine it's gonna be enough. No, so a huge fight for GREGBOYS. Massive smoke in the defense of that bot tier 2.
Yeah, you have to imagine that maybe they were like a little bit further away from each other than they anticipated. Obviously, Play Pirate was looking for a jump, but I think with the way they casted their abilities, there was just no way to blink around the fight, right? But it's kind of the scary part of having like these 4 blinks on your team is every one of them gets shut down by the Thunder Gods.
Yeah.
So, like with the Nimbus and into the call and the sniper, he can't blink away. He doesn't have a defensive item that helps him against that call. Like if he gets Ion, it's like it feels really awkward, right? So he doesn't really want to do that. But yeah, I mean, he's just when you're relying on your team to kind of counter engage for you, it's very hard. It's just hard. It's a hard game. But anyway, we're gonna see the gold swing. I wanna have a look at this. How far was it? It was 5,000, and now it's 1,000 the other way.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, where do you think the limits goes from here? Now that the map state's kind of reset back to a point of, you know, neutrality.
I think they're still just kind of ready to play around Ravage like they have been. They've got 50 seconds till their next one, so they're gonna just kind of chill and farm. the game's still even enough that GREGBOYS can't take over their jungle completely. So each side should have control of their own jungles and triangles. And so I think it's just time for everybody to farm up, and then once we get Ravage back up, we will probably see No Limits make a play. We're also going to have Roche chance to come up in a couple seconds. We'll see how long it ends up being. It will be 1 minute. So around that Ravage timing, or actually a little later. So we'll see. We can potentially see a Roche play from either side.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
We saw how good No Limits Roche take is.
Yeah, you have to imagine they have that in mind, right?
Yeah, but GREGBOYS have really good anti-Roche, so as long as they can get
Middle tower is under
a
attack.
whiff of it happening this time, it could turn into something really disastrous if No Limits don't play it right. And we're gonna see Popo head up this way. I want to see them get
Preda
some
is
vision
kind
around
of
this
running
Roche
into
play.
danger. They know the ward's on the high ground, but do they defend it? That's the question. The two cores aren't there on Bayo and SF, so this ward's gonna go down. The posturing just gonna reset up a little bit. See, Shrapnel's coming out to kind of spot out the spots, but nothing there, Bayo. As Bayo's opting for the MKB.
Yeah, that's
Which
an
is-
interesting one. Maybe anticipating a butterfly from Uranium Heart, but it's not coming out yet. Working on a dataless right now.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, I mean,
attack.
I guess with the Mask of Madness, you kind of are forced to disassemble that. But for now, just gonna be a little bit less damages. You know, Bayo's gonna get Thunder Gods. So they know the smoke is coming now. Like, they should be pretty, target. But
Well,
Bayo
Blink
Blink
forward
forward,
is gonna be
no
super
way that was
dangerous.
intentional. They have to Ravage. There's 4 heroes here, but they have BKBs. So they're just gonna opt to disengage. The supports aren't here. As a interesting movement from Bayo, almost gets him caught. But
Yeah.
he's fine. It's fine. The
Speaking of interesting movements, farming Freezing Field.
a tip from Bayo. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's casual stuff. It's all good. Happens.
Scanning for
Bayo
enemies.
appreciates the
The help.
yeah.
Imagine Azul's just like trolling around. They're probably laughing about that in the call.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
cute.
Maybe gonna see a smoke from GREGBOYS.
Oh,
Roche is
a
up
refresher
now.
from Preda already out.
Ooh.
If they run into a hero here, this is really bad, but they're gonna miss Slaymate running the other way. Now he's on the observer, but the axe is just way too far away, so they're not gonna catch that. It seems like they know this is happening.
Yeah, No Limits are all stacked up except for Bayo, who's topside, and they're actually gonna
Oh, a
smoke
re-smirk.
themselves.
They spot that smirk on...
Oh, so now they're gonna see his
but
team
Preda
mid on the
runs
back
into a bunch
line.
of heroes.
Oh, Slaymate is set up for a big Requiem, but it doesn't catch a lot. They're able to step away. Uranium Heart is in now, and Playmate, Plaid Pirate gets the Ravage on the back line, but there's not much there for follow-up. Bam finally makes their way down. Plaid Pirate now is going to be the one to go down. They get the kill with the Thunder Gods onto Vlad's, and the Nimbus catches Bea. Meanwhile, they get the call onto the Shadow Fiend. Slaymate is going to get dunked down here. So it ends up being a massive fight for GREGBOYS off of the double smoke. That was a weird fight.
Yeah, I think they just got caught off guard by like how threatening the Luna BKB was. He just kind of ran into the middle 3 heroes and they can't touch him, right? This is the BKB strength that we're talking about in the draft. So while he's doing that, there's just too much to deal with, honestly. Like, you have the Luna running at you, you have Zeus casting you from the backline who doesn't have BKB, but like, you can see he gets away with a lot there, and the supports can't really cast his spells just because of the Luna.
Under attack.
So, yeah, and then on top of that, like, Slaymate's in the middle of it all, like, trying to find a Requiem. Doesn't quite work. The Ravage not on the heroes they want it to be.
Radiant
And it was just a really, how to call it, like, chaotic fight.
Yeah, I think it came down
Very
to No
sequenced.
Limits smoking up like right before the teams collide there.
Radiant's top tower
Ends
is
up like
Yeah.
you get that moment where you see just Zeus and the smokes mutually pop, and you're like, oh, like let's just get this catch on Zeus. Is Vlad gonna
Alright,
blink
speaking of
forward
just
into
getting
so
catch,
much
Vlad's gonna-
damage
Yeah.
from all of these Luna illusions? We didn't talk about that interaction yet, But Manta plus Disruption means there are a lot of Lunas to deal with.
Yeah, there's illusions just absolutely melted the Lion. You can imagine when he gets AoE Hex, he feels better about that, but that was really awkward.
Yeah.
Is it gonna... Yeah, the illusion's gonna clear the wave towards High Ground. You would imagine they get cleared pretty fast, but, you know, it's a bit of perk. Love tapping as we will. Is Greg's gonna check the Roshan? It's available.
Yeah.
But do they contest it? That is the question. Greg?
I feel like
you gotta
with
check
Lion...
the Roshan? They're looking at it. They know what's up. There we go.
Yep. With Lion
Dano's
down,
completed
I mean,
for
only
Arena
for
Hut
a
as
few
well.
more seconds now.
They could try to smirk again, but do they have one is the question. They don't have one available, so if they try to contest this, it's with no smirks. I think they just have to give this and just hurt they hold the high ground with the sniper, honestly.
Yeah. They are going to scan it out, so they know it's happening, but probably going to get a sense that it's too late. And if they hadn't
Refresh
yet,
is
then now
available
they...
on Trader again, so yeah.
Who did... It looks like Shard's going to Luna. Nope, back to Axe. Looks
I think
like
Axe shot is pretty sick. Yeah.
Double damage.
Yeah, you get the stacking damage reduction. We've been seeing X2 get these calls on Sniper and Shadow Fiend. So it definitely just gives him a much better chance of surviving those engagements, I think is the biggest thing. Because he's had the damage with Blade Mail. Like, those heroes die, but usually Axe is training himself for it. So we'll see if now this is enough for him to survive and stay relevant here into a fight.
Plus the counter Helix chance just gives him a lot more damage from the spins in the call as well. He's in the already looking for something, but Praetor's positioning just astounds me because it's, to me, it's very surprising he's getting away with like this frontline positioning, but the rest of GREGBOYS have been really diligent on just getting the counter engage if something happens. And it's making it really hard for them to play the game. You see the Lunar Illusions already starting to hit the high ground. This is the worst part about playing this Illusion folks. It's just zero to middle high ground push.
Yeah. I'd love to see a Shard come out from Vlad so you don't have to wait for the AoE Hex. You can get the 3-target Mana Train, which also insta-kills Illusions.
Yeah, plus it would help you a little bit against the Zeus and fights, right? You just channel that and you just sit there. There's not too much to throw into you. Like, obviously the Luna will be running at you, but you know, the other people can make space for you there. Or you would hope that you can. Now, Beta's smirked, but item progression has halted for a while as he doesn't have buyback. So, suddenly this high ground push not as, you know, good as we were expecting it to be.
That said,
Sorry,
they
the
are
high ground defense, just because
chipping
they
away. Like, it's already below half just from the Luna Illusions and creeps away. Like, you're just gonna
because they just can't clear the illusions fast enough without the Lion.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, without the the +3 mana drain, like he doesn't have the way a way to kill the illusion fast enough.
Yeah, like that was another set of illusions. That was another like 300 damage to the tower.
If they don't find, they have to do something soon. Like this isn't sustainable for the defense.
Yeah.
Like this is eventually gonna go down. Sure, like Vlad should recognize this though. But he's been playing pretty good so far. But might be expecting Slaymate to be able to clear this just with his own illusions. Because the other thing they have to be careful of is just not standing next to the tower and letting the Moonglaze bounce between things.
Right.
So, you know, 2 minutes left in the Aegis, so they'll be pretty happy to just pressure this. I mean, if Beta just wants to farm the bottom side of the map, he could.
Yeah, I think just worried that a full fight could break out. If they get Evasion onto enough heroes, which GREGBOYS are doing a pretty good job staying spread out, but I'm sure Plaid Pirate is spending this whole time looking for the Blink Ravage, looking for heroes to step up enough.
Yeah. Dude, Preda is just cancelling these blinks constantly.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
I mean, he's gunning Gleipnir, so they probably
here's the
Ravage.
Blink
Ravage committed.
They catch Luna And Witch Doctor, but where's the follow-up from the team? Vlad is there with the Finger of Death, but now here comes the damage. Turnaround from Luna, it's not in time.
Killing spree.
Bea is in trouble too,
Bea is
he's
just
gonna get
dying
zapped
to
down.
Zeus.
The Steam God, the Steam Mid finds it, and they pick up the tier 3. Buybacks are gonna have to come out. But now without the fear of Ravage, the barracks have disappeared. They do get the kill onto Axe. Sticks around a little too long in the mid lane, but
it's just a little bit awkward. Like, it's just not fast enough. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just something that wasn't communicated. Like, you didn't know they were ravaging. But
yeah,
with this many blinks, you have to imagine that they're looking to sync them up so that they can all jump in together. But the solo ravage with the blink coming just after the stun expires, so Luna gets the BKB off, doesn't have to expend the Aegis. It's just too awkward. Like, they need to be more synced. Because the way that fight played out, there just wasn't enough coordination.
Dire are
It was almost good. There was so many heroes caught in that, but like, you blink Ravage into Requiem and then Lion as well. Like, it should have been a lot better for them. I feel that was just not how they wanted it to go.
Yeah, it definitely felt like just the communication wasn't there, and they weren't ready for that engage. And it's so hard because you have to, like, as Tidehunter, you've just been staring down this onslaught of illusions, just looking behind them, constantly looking for the right catch. And Plaid Pirate finally finds a good one. It's just so hard to get that, like, okay, I'm going in now. Like, really everybody has to be looking for that good Ravage. Because you have to all be ready when the Ravage happens to pour in the damage in that time window that it sets up.
Wait for it.
Yeah, it's like a hard hero to put when you're standing for that exact reason, right? It's just you don't have that same like level of comfort with the present. It's not like he's playing bad.
Right.
He's been doing a good job, but it's just there's going to be that level of discomfort just because he's not like playing with the stack constantly and all that. So
yeah, there's so much
it's a bit
pressure
awkward
on a Tidehunter. Like every team fight is in the hands of that hero.
It's rough. They're gonna start pressuring this bottom tower. You'd imagine with this level of a gold lead, they're comfortable just sieging this without the Aegis. Like, they'll probably do the same thing where they just spam illusions. Eventually, they'll get the towers down.
Yeah, I think they feel pretty comfortable doing the exact same thing. Like, last time they were finally able to fully break it because they got the go-ahead. And it's gonna be the same story. Ravage is back up. So it's all about, okay, can we find the Ravage plus the follow-up to swing this? Like, that threat is still 100% there. Just because it didn't work out last time, GREGBOYS still have to play around it, and No Limits still have to be ready for it.
The other could be setting up for just the AoE Requiem, like a BKB Requiem. He has the Aghanims now, so I mean, there's two heroes now that can look for a good blink, but they have to just be really diligent of playing off the vision. There are observer wards covering the path from mid to bottom, so they will see the SF there if he tries to do something. They're good warding coming up, just protecting them while they do the siege. Nice.
Well, they're gonna
Like,
get a blink call on
he's
Slaymate.
throwing the wave like this. He's gonna get
Finish off the
down.
Ravage is
Requiem's
there
gonna
without
hit.
the blink, but it still connects onto 3, but Tidehunter is immediately going to get eviscerated. No buyback for Tidehunter. They do have it on the Shadow Fiend. The damage, though, between the Glaives, between the Zeus, it's just all bouncing around, and it's so hard to escape. Not to mention these two Nimbuses placed on the tower. It's going to be enough to get the tier 3, and that's going to allow Uranium Heart to step up and watch these barracks disappear.
Yeah, no buyback on the Titans. They can also look at this mid tower. They have Requiem, but they don't have Ravage for 80 seconds. So, you know, Greg's just gonna eat and assassinate from Bale. Lovely. Oh, Vlad blinks forward. It might get punished for that. As they don't have the spells, but
Alright, yeah, the
you know,
Glimmer Cape
you're only
is
half
enough.
diligent player,
Let's
just
do
gonna
that.
chop mid. As this could be Megas if they opt for it. With no BKB, they might be a little bit hesitant, but honestly, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, still 50 seconds without Tidehunter.
Like, they have their Requiem, but I don't think it's enough at this stage. I don't know, like, Millers, they have to be a lot more diligent on not showing on vision, as
Yeah.
Vlad's just gonna get picked off again. 200
Ooh,
HP.
barely gonna survive.
Slaymate gets the Requiem Blink on the Zeus.
Oh, and with the finger of death, they
holy,
actually
that
find
finger of
Praetor. Yeah, that's the 10th stack. That
There's
spell.
600 bonus damage.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, an
Just
extra
as I was saying,
20 damage
Yeah,
per kill on the
Illusion.
on the level 20 talent.
mm-hmm.
So just
Gets blown up, yeah. I mean, that was just Praetor doing not quite trolling. It's not like the game's over, but you know he was gonna die for that. And yeah, look at his team. The Hunger inside Predator, Hubris of Predator. Yeah, I mean, he just wanted he was just bloodthirsty, right? He wanted that. Come on, let a man have his fun.
Regeneration.
Radiant are
No
scanning
tips.
for enemies.
Dude, Praetor doesn't even get tipped for that? My team just hates me or what? You guys all chatted instead?
it is Friday. They're probably out of them by now. In the week.
Oh, I think it resets for customs.
Oh, does it?
What?
They're just free.
Yeah. I think you get free tips for customs. Although I don't know if it actually gives you points or not.
Probably not.
Probably not, because I would, yeah.
Dire are scanning
Could be lobby abused,
Yeah.
but, you know. Oh well. Roshan spawned. GREGBOYS doesn't know it's up yet. The other two members, like, Lewis knows the threat is there, but I'm not sure if they can do anything about it.
X2 is gonna go find out that Roche is alive.
Mm-hmm. Just
Third
gonna
Roche.
smack it, square up.
It's an Aghanim's blessing on it.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Ooh.
Ooh, they're gonna spot
could be
Popo here and
big
get the
for
blink
X2
into
who's
the Earth
looking at
Spike. Finger of Death doesn't quite do it, and they have the Voodoo Switcheroo, and now Slaymate has already committed. They do finally find the kill on Popo right as the Switcheroo ends. Now Uranium Heart's gonna step up
Nice
with the
BKB.
BKB. Ravage doesn't connect onto much into it. Vlad is eventually going to go down to the Thunder God's Wrath. Off of the Refresher, they get the dunk in the back onto Azrael. And now Vlad Pirate will fall as well.
upon the tide.
3 heroes is no buyback. They're just gonna run into the high ground.
Yeah, this
This
is
looks like it's game.
probably going to be a game. If it was any carry but Luna, I'd say they have a chance of defending here. But this tier 3 is already so low. This is certainly mega creeps. Unless we see... No, and Requiem was used, so they have 15 seconds
Middle tower has fallen.
until they can use another one of those. If this game is going to continue, it will be from a massive Requiem. Looking to take it away before they even can. They get the Nimbus
Nice.
onto Bea. BKB's just in time to survive.
If there's no cull from X2, doesn't get it off. Jabea barely lives.
And now here's the blink in.
And
They
a
get
nice
the
Requiem.
Requiem onto 2. Buybacks come back up for the support, so they're going to get the Finger of Death onto Axe. Can they chase down Uranium Heart? Meanwhile, Slaymate is going to get caught in the backline having chased down Praetor. Now the return damage, the Shadow Fiend illusions, and the Luna illusions. The supports have to be careful. They've just bought back.
Bea
Nimbus
brings
comes
forward
out,
into
but Bea
Nimbus.
gets the Assassinate. So this game will
Nice.
continue. Really nice defense there from No Limits.
I mean, Uranium Heart has a rapier. There's... Are you serious, dude?
Oh my goodness. That
He
is
seriously bought a rapier?
that is not necessary.
Well, see, if Bea gets his hands on that, that
Bea
would make
or
this game
Slaymate. Like, Slaymate
really
didn't
long.
go a right-click build, but that's still... Like,
You know, it's still 400 damage for him.
Yeah.
Like, and he has the shot as well. Like, there's multiple cores that rapier could be going. But that's only if they can get it against this high. So,
yeah.
it's rough.
Vlad and
It's a
Cloud
rough
Pirate
road out
jumping
here for
forward.
No Limits.
Boba has the core staff to get away. They have the Assassinate queued up. Mini stun on it, though.
Blinks on cooldown because they couldn't find the Earthquake earlier. Vlad might just blink forward anyway.
Blink again.
Doesn't open with the
Into the
hex.
finger. Oh, they have the Voodoo Switcheroo once again. Survived for now, but the Assassinate will finish it off. No need. The Gush Eggs does it for them. So that's no Witch Doctor for 75 seconds, and a double damage on Sniper. This is going to set up No Limits to manage to get a Roshan here. Aegis, Cheese,
Oh my
and
God.
Aghanim's Scepter blessing, which I'm trying to figure out who this is going to go to. It can only go on
Sniper and
Thea
Crystal Maiden.
or
I honestly would like it on the Maiden, but
Yeah. But
I don't know. She doesn't have BKB, so you might just have to put it on Thea.
yeah, and it is the stun is quite nice on the assassinate. Everybody
They don't
blinks
have the
away,
entry
so
space
Baya's
for
left here to do item management. A little awkward.
Gotta leave the little treads on the ground. Alright, fair enough.
Vlad gonna go back in and pick him up for him.
Hell yeah.
Meanwhile, though,
Beautiful
both
support.
tier 4s have fallen, so that Roshan comes at a cost.
Yeah, unfortunately, Azrael just couldn't hold it enough. Like, it's just a Crystal Maiden voice.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to freezing field the wave, he just can't hold it. So, unfortunately, that's gonna go. But overall, like, having the Aegis is more important than having your tier 4s, especially against a Luna. He really doesn't care with the Rapier.
Yeah.
As you might see this go to 60 minutes.
Yeah,
have a
55 in already.
The Aegis expires at like just in time for them to prepare for tier 5s. So we'll see if that helps No Limits in any way. The Arcanist armor against this Zeus would be so huge. He doesn't have Bloodstone yet.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not sure if he will operate. He's going E-Blade right now.
Vlad working on a Lincoln Sphere on the Lion. Which I guess makes a bit of sense with how much damage they're taking, but at this point you gotta get the shot. You got like the... If you're worried about getting hit by single target spells, just get the little 1400
Literal
gold
spell
BKB.
immunity. Yeah. Oh, Vlad blinks forward. Doesn't have the cost range. Interesting. You're just gonna see I don't know what No Limits does here. They just kind of farm it. Vlad gets hexed. With the
Ooh, into the
refresher.
double Nimbus, they pick off the line with no buyback. So it's gonna be a 4v5. They do still have Aegis. Switch over to buyback status. Thea also does not have it up. Has finished a rapier of his own.
Okay, that's really huge. I like that. He doesn't have room for BKB, but I mean, if he stops at the Eagle Song, which he should with the rapier.
Yeah. But also has Aegis, so it's probably just gonna swap in the BKB off of the first death
After?
if needed.
Yeah.
That can be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't like the mentality of like not using his survivability after Aegis, especially if it's like Satanic. I feel like if you can stall out your Aegis for long enough, that's more important. Because the 5 seconds when you're dead is a long time to not have damage.
Right, here comes the Luna illusions. Can they take this Ancient the same way that they took a couple of these outer towers? Just send in illusion after illusion. Praetor has been sitting here on Zeus, just in the base, looking to put enough damage into No Limits to set something up. I mean, they are
The play
fully
part is
backed
just
into their
tanking it with the
base.
heart though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think this guy cares. This man just does not care, dude.
Yeah, pipe
Praetor
heart,
is just...
full tank, happy standing in the
Yeah.
front, helping clear the waves.
Just as long as Vega can sit in the back for this next like 1 or 2 minutes, like there's no way this ever drops. The supports just have to not get called out. If the supports get called out again, this is really doesn't. They don't stand together either. Slaymate loses half his HP to the illusions. Please don't do that.
God. Luckily, he does have Satanic on the Shadow Feed
With the
now.
Shadow Rays applies attack damage, so their wave clear is definitely there. They just need to be more diligent about the glaives, because it's doing a lot of work canceling their blinks and stuff. I mean, surely Vlad gets the shard, please. They really need it.
Yeah. Buy out for it now. Buyback still on cooldown for a minute and a half.
Alright, CM has the eye on
Jumps
this.
forward, but he's
on
gonna
Courier.
get hexed. And now they get a huge
Oh, nice
ravage. They
ravage
have to
onto
follow up
three
this time.
and
Slaymate's
four.
in with the Requiem. They find Popo first into 2 more. Esteem mid, Greg go down. That's the Ravage
Ancient
they've been
starting to
looking
get
for
hit.
this game.
Nice. That was the combo they needed so much earlier on. But, I mean, that's still a successful fight. Either way, they still have buyback, so there's no way they end here.
No.
Unless they can force something really insane.
Yeah, and running down
They
mid,
have
they
to
still
try something.
have a bit of damage to a tier 2 to deal before they can fully break into the base. Aegis expires,
Aegis expired for Bayo.
but I think that's okay.
He has the rapier. He knows if he dies once it's over anyway.
Yeah.
We'll have to buy back in 100 gold, but I'd imagine he just buys something up. There's no world where you buy a rapier and save for buyback. You just all in. Giant's Ring found by the Luna. Slaymate's gonna spot out the Luna here. She has BKB
square up.
and Satanic available. I'm not sure you want to do this, Slaymate.
Oh, with the
He
BKB,
pops a Satanic of his
Slaymate's-
own, but just gonna
go
get
down.
burnt down by the Scotty.
and now but
This
the
is just
BKB is ended.
disastrous.
Uranium Heart's going to be in trouble here, and this could be a rapier on the ground if they can find this kill. Has the Trickster
Trickster
Cloak,
Cloak gets
and
him
they'll
out.
have to back away.
Bayer stuck on defense duty, can't get the damage in that they need. As the evasion coming in really clutch there, along with the Scotty to kind of block the Satanic healing. And Slaymate couldn't sustain through that. So nicely done from Uranium Heart, punishes that movement. But Apex now for the Luna.
Oh. Yeah, we'll see if No Limits can get any tier 5
upon a
items.
loyal warrior.
They're still missing their tier 4s. Book of
Oh,
Shadows
that's gonna
found by
be-
Luna as well. Oh my god. I mean, the Shadow Demon Disruption was already doing so much work, but now here's another save on top of that as well.
Mhm.
As long as they don't get caught by another Ravage, that could be really, really huge.
And despite all the AoE damage they have, No Limits are still largely backed into their base, so they're not going to have their own opportunity to go get tier 5 items. Like you said, still short 2 tier 4 items.
Arcanist Armor and the Seer Stone found as well.
Oh,
My goodness.
that is
Book of
scary.
Shadow's gonna be put on the Zeus, but I would love to see him take the Seer Stone.
Yeah, I imagine that'll get swapped around,
outrageous
although they
sniper.
could. Witch Doctor holding it for now. You also wouldn't mind seeing it on Shadow Demon, who has the Arcanist armor in the backpack right now. Might not have even realized it was passed off to them.
Seer Stone passed over to the
yep.
Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus and Witch Doctor swap up. So that's nice, because now you have the save on both supports, and Praetor doesn't have to get anywhere close to these fights.
So
Yeah, their
Greg's
spells
gonna
in.
hold on to the Arcanist Armor, so they're gonna opt to keep the saves on both supports. So just in case one gets caught, right, you're not all-inning yourself on the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, No Limits just can't get their items, and that could be the deciding factor in this next fight.
Yeah, I mean, all 5 of these heroes have an item that they're pretty happy with on the side of GREGBOYS.
I mean, Giant's Ring is like Giant's Ring and the Apex are almost best in slot in terms of tier 5s. I mean, they have to be so happy with that spread. That was so huge for them. I don't think there was a better item they could have gotten. You know, Luna's just gonna casually walk around with the rapier. Roshan's start up for 2 minutes. But it'll have
X2
to
is
refresh
back
shot
in the
as well.
trees, maybe looking for a game-winning call.
Okay.
They get the
Greg
vision, they get the
getting
call
caught
onto
out.
Bea, just immediately going to go down. Rapier on the deck, buys back. They're not going to be able to pick it up in time, so Bea gets the Rapier back. Meanwhile, in the back line, they get the Ravage. They get the kill onto
Uranium
Greg.
Heart crits
onto
Bea for half his
3.
HP.
If you were a millennial, I'd
Oh, but
And
Uranium
that's
Heart.
it.
That's a second Divine Rapier. Vlad is going to disappear, and Uranium Heart is going to pop the ult. The
Oh,
Glaives
Rapier gets
themselves,
melted, and that's the game.
Ancient, and the game. GREGBOYS take game 1 in a
63
chaotic
minute
finale to a 63-minute game.
Jesus. I mean, they almost found the fight they needed. It was just too late. It almost worked.
Yeah.
I mean, the net worth graph for that game looked even for so long, but in the end, just one bad fight and all of the momentum GREGBOYS had, they just managed to carry that into the win.
Yeah. So hard to defend high ground into this lineup of the Luna plus the Shadow Demon. Just endless illusions. running.
You have to
into the
imagine if
base.
Vamp got the shard that, or Onirishima got the shard that would have worked better.
Yeah, I think that would
yeah.
have helped them a lot. I don't know if it even would have been enough. But it definitely would have slowed down those pushes.
I think a lot of the reason why they had trouble was like just the illusions managing to buy so much room. But if you get the lion shot, that just is not a threat anymore. You know, it's kind of surprising to see him not do that. But overall, I mean, played really well on both sides. You know, lion looked like it was doing so much work, but once that first chaotic fight came through, it just all of his momentum really stopped. So it was really unfortunate to see.
Yeah, I definitely think GREGBOYS had a lineup that favored the chaos. Like No Limits just want to execute this combo of Ravage into Requiem, into Sniper shooting everybody, and Finger of Death hitting everybody, and Freezing Field in there as well. Like they had so much potential, it was just difficult to execute. Whereas GREGBOYS had heroes that were always ready to kind of counter engage. You still had the initiation with Axe. Like it was a similar sort of setup where you've got the high damage supports, you've got the high damage backline, you've got the frontliner. But just with the saves, I think are the biggest thing. On top of how well Luna pushes, like we're just constantly capitalizing on those chaotic fights.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was just rough. Like, I think the execution factor. It felt like when you look at this draft that the execution should be in favor of No Limits, but I think with the way that GREGBOYS was positioning, I mean, their positioning that game was just really crazy. Aside from that one huge Ravage, like 50 minutes in. I mean, honestly, what can you do?
All right. Well, that was a very long game, so we're going to take a little break. And we'll be back soon with game 2. Hello, we are back for game 2 of WLDL Week 6 group stage. Sange and Yasha crossover division, No Limits versus GREGBOYS. GREGBOYS coming up from the Yasha division took game 1. Can they make it a clean sweep, or are No Limits going to bounce back to split the series? Let's find out. What are you thinking, Shio? What do No Limits need to do to bounce back in game 2?
I feel like it kind of goes against their draft identity, but I feel like they need to have a hero that impacts the game early. I think that's kind of the main thing. Is it's not like their laning is particularly bad, but I feel like being able to have that tempo control might shake up the dynamic of the game a little bit. Because it didn't feel like their draft was bad, but they just kind of got ran over, right?
Yeah.
Like, they lost the one fight and they lost all of their control. Like, the early game was... Like, what even happened to give them that control, though? I feel like they won one fight and they were riding momentum, but they couldn't get it back.
Yeah,
so I think if they have a little bit of that, like, chaotic factor, you know, you throw in a spirit hero or something like that, like, it might make it easier to kind of bounce back. Instead of having to rely on these long cooldowns, which makes it really predictable, I think.
Yeah, I'd enjoy seeing Bea on something that hits the game a little earlier than, like, a sniper. Like an OD or, like a Queen of Pain. Something else that they're comfortable on that will play more like a mid-hero. They've been doing this carry out of the mid lane, which works to a degree. I was thinking we weren't going to see it last game with the Shadow Fiend pick, but they actually played the Shadow Fiend not like a carry, which was working for them for a while. They're going to open with the Undying, and GREGBOYS get the Brewmaster because the Axe was banned out this time. Last game, the Brewmaster
finally got their
banned.
hands on the Brew.
Yeah, this is...
No Leuna for Bale. That's great. I mean, this combo is like... This is like GREGBOYS classics, right?
Yeah. Yeah, X2 plays the Brewmaster. And Brewmaster, I feel like, especially in like the lower levels of this kind of tournament, like if you have a player that can play it, it's a lot more powerful than it is when you just assess it in a vacuum. Because a lot of people, like myself included, don't feel very comfortable playing into a Brewmaster. It is a very difficult hero to deal with when you're not used to playing against it, and a lot of people in their pubs never see.
Dyer's turn to ban.
Yeah, it kind of like...
It is Radiant's ban.
If you think about stuff like, you know, the Huskers, kind of like the last pick specialties, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those kind of are known for being strong in pods, but I feel like in this kind of environment where it's on top of not being a familiar hero, you're also just not expecting to see people pick it at all, right? Whether it's because they're just not strong, like particularly strong in the meta, or for whatever reason. Like even stuff like Lycan, which is pretty highly valued in some like teams, is just like you don't see that enough to know how to play against it for the most part. So I think those kind of picks can be really strong, as you said. Like stuff like the Naga Siren, we've seen a bit, but like even in WLD, right? We've had such a high variance in player skill when you see people playing like piloting Naga. So stuff like that, where you know if they're good at it, you can't deal with it, right? Because you're just not familiar enough. Whereas, you know, it's just very execution based, which kind of is the nature of like micro heroes, I guess. Like, either you know how to play it or you don't. Like, imagine if someone in our like community knew how to play Chen. Like, I feel like they would win 70 or 80% of the games if they just picked it.
Yeah.
Because, like, that stuff would be really gross to deal with.
The bans had been coming out pretty fast. This last ban is going to be a bit more of a thinker for No Limits. Maybe planning what their next couple picks are going to be as well, and making sure that they cover their bases. Luna and Axe also have been banned, so GREGBOYS aren't going to be able to execute the exact same game that they did last time. We also didn't talk a ton about the Undying because of how quickly the Brewmaster came out. The Undying, we've seen No Limits play at position 3, which is not something a lot of teams do. And so I really like it as a first pick
specifically
for
against
them.
you guys.
Oh yeah.
10 seconds
Like,
remaining.
make no mistake, I am unfortunately
5
intimately familiar with the No Limits position 3 Undying. Now the
Radiant's
dynamic
turn
might be a little
to
bit different with Plaid Pirate standing in, but I imagine they're still comfortable with it. It's not like a super high difficulty hero to play, so either Plaid Pirate's comfortable with it, or they're just going to play it on position 5, like it has that versatility for them, or they're going to switch things up from last game and have Slaymate play position 3, where they have Plaid Pirate move over to carry this game.
5 seconds remain.
Again, they like playing kind of a double offlane carry mid setup, so I think they feel pretty comfortable going that route again. They've had a lot of success with it, with the Kid Magic Night Stalker, so not having that as a factor
Dyer's turn to
might
pick.
offset things. GREGBOYS are going to go to Snapfire, which I like a lot into the Undying. Just make sure you have a good answer to Tombstone. You have a player who knows in their head, my job, every fight, delete the
10
Tombstone.
seconds remain.
Like, that does a lot
5
for your team to
seconds.
make sure that the Undying can't take over a fight too hard. You'll
We've
often
seen
see that
how
getting
bad it
banned
is.
out
Yeah.
for the
When you
Undying.
can't kill the Tombstone, it just makes your fights very complicated. They don't
Yeah.
have the same level of like, they're gonna have the Lich chain frosting with Grimstroke Soulbind as well, right?
Mhm.
But Witch Doctor, Death Ward's pretty much the same thing. If you can't get out the Death Ward, it's really bad. So having a way to get rid of all the slows that come out from the Tombstone is really important for them.
Yep.
I'll be interested to see what they follow up with this though. Like they're presenting a lot of like sustain
Dyer's turn
with these two
to
supports.
pick.
I'm assuming the supports because I don't think they'll play like a play pirate Undying. I think it's a hero that you kind of need to have coordination around if you're playing an offlane. But they're gonna offer even more sustain. So like an AA kind of hero like doesn't exist for GREGBOYS now that they've locked the two supports. So they have to find some other kind of
10
heal block.
seconds.
You could move the Snapfire to core if you had to. I think with a Brewmaster, it's probably pretty iffy. I think a mid snap is pretty greedy. Speaking of greedy, we're gonna get Chaos Knight Lone
Chaos
Druid.
Knight Lone Druid.
So yeah, I was imagining that this was Slaymate on the Undying, Plaid Pirate
10 seconds.
on like a safe lane Chaos Knight, which is a hero that functions kind of between the 1 and 3 role anyway. You know Bea better than I do. Is Lone Druid coming out of the mid lane here for No Limits?
I need to double check. It seems like a Bea hero,
It is
but
Dyer's turn.
I'm not exactly sure. So I'm just gonna go check the stats real quick. Hit up the stat page.
Meanwhile, GREGBOYS locking the Terrorblade, so that'll be their carry.
I mean,
For
I
sure.
think TB this game is nuts. I think this is really good for them.
10
Yeah.
They're presenting a lot of fizz damage. They don't have like a ET player,
5
or anything like that.
seconds remain.
Mhm.
so the TB will do good in lane, especially if it's like an offlane Seeker or offlane Undying. I think it'll do really good in lane. And from there, I think it's pretty easy for them to take over. Just have a clear timing around the meta and Brewmaster ult now. At least until Brew gets Axe, which you probably will. This is a stupid Axe at the moment. But
Can you?
Yeah.
I don't know how much this matters, but can
Hmm?
you DB alt a bear? I think you can.
Remember that a
Yes,
true
you can summon the
competitor honors a pause.
I believe.
Radiant's turn to
Uh,
ban.
I don't see Lone Druid
That was
on Bea's
the
profile.
limits ran out of reserve time. They found a limit, and it is the amount of time they have to ban a hero. They blank on a ban here.
Okay. That's... Okay,
10 seconds.
I think it's pretty bad, but at the same time, like, there's not many picks that
5
will, like,
seconds.
insanely counter this comp, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
there's not too many things that will be like, oh yeah, this is unplayably bad for us. So it's probably not the worst. It probably just like means Predator gets another comfortable pick if this isn't like a mid snap.
Yeah.
as for the Lone Druid, I'm pretty sure this is not a Baylock tier. I
Okay.
don't think he's a Lone Druid player.
So this might
I
be
haven't seen it on
Plaid
any of their
Pirates
histories.
ban.
Okay, so Slave. Sorry, yes, this is Slayment. Slayment has 300 games on it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I'm
So then-
double checking played Pirates right now,
Well, I think
but
if it's likely
I don't
that
know them at all.
Slaymate's playing the Lone Druid, I think that kind of locks in the draft, because that tells me Undying will be a support. And then I'd expect Plaid Pirate to be on the Chaos Knight,
10 seconds remain.
probably still in the off lane, and then Slaymate on the
5
safe lane Lone Druid.
seconds.
It's definitely interesting in that case, because that is a more proper carry hero. So I think we will see a more traditional lineup. And if your offlaner is Chaos Knight, then you have some pretty greedy cores around your mid lane, and so I think we'll get to see Bea on something more playmaking.
co-op. This looks like a co-op game for me.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Do you think the Zeus ban signals Quap or anything else, or is just like respect from last game?
10 seconds.
I think it's just a respect from last game. I think no matter what Bea picks, he'll be pretty happy with this matchup. I just don't think there's... Unless he picks something really awful.
Turn to pick.
But
It's the
yeah, okay, there we go. We got the Bea co-op. Let's go. This is the second most played hero, I believe. Or
Mhm.
first most played. Holy shit. Oh, dude. I wanted to see this. I like that. Alright. I'm getting cold, so I'll mute my mic, but I'll be there for a bit.
Okay.
10 seconds remain.
Yeah, so that does kind of solidify how this draft is looking. GREGBOYS are going to have to find an
5
answer to the Queen of
seconds.
Pain for the mid lane, unless this is a mid Snapfire. But I feel like mid Snapfire probably feels pretty... it might actually feel alright into a Queen of Pain. They've got plenty of time to think about it, though. Still a minute of reserve time. They themselves banned out Silencer, which I feel like might do decently into a co-op. Actually, both of these heroes that they banned. Not that I think they wanted to pick these for their mid, but I feel like those silence options would do well for a co-op. Also might mean that GREGBOYS are looking at a Spirit, and I think they'd feel okay with that. But I don't know what... Like, it would have to be Ember, and I don't know how good that matchup is. You could
How
do
good
a
which
Storm.
matchup is?
Quap Ember.
Should be pretty co-op favor for the first levels.
Okay.
But I think in terms of how you play the map, I think Ember works fine. There's probably a possibility this is a Snap Core as well. I think Snap Core against Quap is okay. You're probably not looking for that. A Legion Commander for Praetor. We've seen this
Oh.
one before. I'm not sure how much I like it, but I think the idea is very sound. Like, you have the Snap pairing for your duels. You'll get a good lane because you just have so much sustain that you get through the co-op anyway.
Mhm.
The only concern is if GREGBOYS is on the back foot, them finding damage through co-op's backline disruption is going to be very hard.
Yeah.
I think this draft can have damage issues if the snap can't cast stuff early. I think a lot of this is on Bale to kind of control the early game, but
Mhm.
if they make it through that phase, there's just one issue they have to deal with, and that can get maledicted. So hopefully this goes well. I love seeing Bea co-op. I haven't seen him play it in like ages.
Yeah, I think it's been getting banned a lot into No Limits because of the history. Yeah, 6 bans. And I don't think has been played yet.
Yeah.
Oh
Unfortunately.
no, they did have.
But dude,
they have
look
had
at
a
his
few
co-op
games on
set,
it.
man. It's so good.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get into hats as well. The hats are really good on both sides. But
Which one's
that
better?
is a finished Arcana, I'm pretty sure, on Bea, and like really good sets the rest of the way around for No Limits.
Yeah.
But another close one.
Time for
Honestly, as a co-op enjoyer, that one takes the cake for me. But I think the other shout out to me is like Praetor's set, because I think it's just like not one that you see.
Yeah, the
It has a
green
good
style
vibe.
on this too. This is a cavern crawl set. I'm pretty sure, and so the green is like the additional version of it, the special style. So some nice work done for that one. Oh, I should be reading
I gifted
these
a Snapfire
messages
cosmetic to
from,
the wrong account.
Oh, trying to win the hat strap late. So we got nice introductions coming up from Uranium Heart. I'm going to read these out as the smoke comes through. I should get out of... There we go. Yeah, introducing Legion Gregmander, Terror Greg, Gregmaster, Gregfire, and Shadow Gregman. As the smoke not gonna find much. Looks like they fully dodge and are gonna collide near the mid lane. We don't quite get the bear rune, or no, we do get the bear rune. So this is gonna be 3 runes for No Limits to start things off. I was thinking bear had to deny runes. I forgot bear can just pick up runes themselves.
Bear with Disruption, and I believe that is correct. As Bayes is going to casually walk into melee range of the Legion with Moment's Courage. Okay. Trading as all mid laners do.
Went back and forth early again, these mids at level 1.
I mean, this for Bayo though. If Bayo gets a bottle, this is really awful for Praetor. Although, you know, if he gets level 2 first, Bayo could just skill Q and kill him here, I think. Yes, yeah, there we go.
That's what they'll
A lot
go
of
with.
pressure.
How's the magic stick, though?
I would like to see Bayo independent, but anyway, it's fine. The critical lane is too high. Good trading level 1 all around. I think it benefits Bayo more just because of the bottle region that will come out, but we'll have to see how Praetor continues to play the rest of this lane. 3's nice already, so. All that. Now, in the other lanes, what are you kind of expecting to see? Like, I think this Brew Snap lane is going to have a lot of pressure, but do you think they ever close out kills? Or...
I think if they can get good catches onto the real Lone Druid, they've got a decent chance. But the bear is going to be a scary thing. I like these starting items. I don't know Lone Druid starting items, but they just look fun. Of Quelling Blade on bear, 6 branches, and a pack of tangos in the backpack on the main hero. Well, 2 fairy
obviously
fighters on
not
Azure.
something to see often.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm Gabe Newell. You've just
bottom
achieved
lane.
first blood.
Yeah.
Thanks and have
No,
fun.
Level 2.
no first blood will be seen in this series. I apologize.
Oh, Uranium Hog gets dragged to the tower with stun there.
Yeah, one last click will do it. The Cloudfire gets their return kill, and that
That's the
is...
Metamorphosis as well.
Or no, that's not even their return kill. That's 2 kills.
Yeah. There's 2 kills to the Chaos Knight. That's going to be really good for his temper.
Yep.
If he can keep that laning dominance up. A little bit of an overstep, but overall not too big in the grand scheme of things. Or at least it shouldn't be. As Baya's gonna secure both water runes, so that's like a dream come true for him almost. Praetor casually tanking tower twice. Has the press attack, so I'm not gonna die, and Baya's not gonna get baited. No, just there. Yeah, the other lane's looking pretty quiet here. CS is pretty low all around, which kind of like you would think that there's a lot of trading going on, which is definitely not wrong. If you look at GREGBOYS HP, like there was sort of 2 kills bottom, but also Snapfire is like less than a third of her HP, so you'd imagine some fighting what's happening, which is why the creep score is so low. But overall, not too bad.
Yeah, Undying and the bear have just been mashing. I should just keep watching bot lane, obviously. It's the Witch Doctor conundrum. Permasneeze would be very disappointed in me. They get the stun
Another
up.
stun. They have the mango if they want the reality rift, but looks like they're just gonna pressure him a bit. Can stack this wave and then look to pull. And then the TV's in a really rough spot with no meta, but they need to get this wave shot done, I think. There's no TP on... Greg doesn't want to commit TP, right? So this could get pretty bad. Now Bale, I didn't talk too much about mid after that first couple levels, but like... Oh, Preda is not having a good time. That's a bit rough.
Yep, 20-4 to 12-2 on the last hits. Almost double at this point.
Part of the issue... Yeah, it's just... You know, he didn't get a bottle, and Bea has a bottle and Blink. So, like, he's naturally kind of, like, fated to lose the lane, I think. Just the nature of Water Runes. But, overall... Pause from Purple. Brewmaster denies, kind of nuts.
Yeah, 16-10. Which is pretty big into the Lone Druid, who has 2 heroes to last hit with. Essentially. And they're both gold tier on these heroes, so similar amounts of experience. There's actually Orb of Corrosion in the backpack of the Druid. Still needs to get passed off to
the courier is
bear.
really close, so that probably just came.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, this 6 Iron Branch build is just like kind of odd. I guess it's weird to look at.
Yeah.
Normally, what happens is you trade some Iron Branches to get a starting Orb of Venom or Blightstone on your bear.
Mm-hmm.
I think in this matchup, you really wanted the Blightstone, just because you kind of don't need the orb to run people down. Your Undying probably could have started that if you wanted to, but it's not really your job to run at people with the bear, right?
Yeah.
You just get Blightstone so you can last hit really nicely. Like the fact that you're getting out CS by a Brewmaster as a lane druid kind of indicates something's wrong. Maybe one of the issues they had was that they can't pull the lane, right? Because the lane has constantly been shoved.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that was part of it, like the laning room is just not there for Slaymate. But even then, the CS count is looking not quite amazing for him.
What's on this Undying Courier? Boots and a Clarity. I'm surprised, like, I like the damage that they get from this Fairy Fire build. It hasn't quite been enough to bring someone down. Okay, it was just a connection issue. I was just realizing that we didn't get anything more than the the disconnect itself for a pause reason. But yeah, mangoes have been very in style right now. For the amount of regen you get from them, and because you get a lot of free mana from them at early levels.
Aw, don't be upsetty. Have some spaghetti.
And so I feel like they could be even more aggressive in this lane if they had Tombstone ready with some more mangoes, I think.
Common trends that I've noticed when just casting these games is like the lack of regen that people buy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially mana. Like, I remember watching one of the Secret Agent Roshan games. We're gonna talk about this because, like, our team knows Fates, so it's like kind of chill. But like, Fates walked around for like 20 minutes with barely enough mana to hook, and he had to keep like getting ferried mangoes by supports. It was kind of wild to see, but he went like 10-1, so it worked out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But he did walk around for a long time with no mana regen, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can already kind of see like the mismanagement of regen coming out already. Like, obviously, Bear hasn't had to use any, but like X2 has none. Purple didn't have any, so the 300 HP that he got was like him AFKing behind trees for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Prado doesn't have a bottle, which is like arguable if you want to get that or not. I would imagine against the co-op you kind of want it.
Yeah.
Like,
it has
he's
the 14
surviving, so
wand
like,
stacks.
yeah.
It doesn't. I think that makes it feel okay. But
Yeah, it feels okay, but the CS gap has like there's a noticeable like there's a palpable gap in last hits just because of the region difference with the bottle ring.
yeah.
So, like, I'm not sure if that's like Predator's fault for not buying a bottle, or if it's like, you know, he just fated to be that way. But it's certainly like something to think about when you're playing this, right?
Mhm.
Like, he doesn't need boots that early because you're probably never like dueling a cop and winning, especially with this build, because it's just super telegraphed. If you ever press the attack, the blink has the same cast time, so he'll know the duel's coming. And yeah, like overall, definitely weird. The Greg of Pain.
I remember when I first like found out about like Dota Buff and Open Dota and like the stats websites and stuff. I was looking at some like item stats and things, and I saw how for like every region item, tangos, salves, mangoes, fairy fires, clarities, all of them, there's just like a direct correlation of like people at higher MMR buy more of them. And it's just like such a simple thing that a lot of people don't realize of like how much value you get out of regen in the laning phase, and like how much it can turn things around by just having the mana to cast another spell or having the health to stand in lane longer.
I'm so curious to look at that myself later, because that'll actually be a really interesting stat to see. But moral of the story is like, especially in a lane like all of these lanes really are premeditated on region, so not having any really sucks. You see X is kind of getting away with it because of his lane position, but like he has kind of gotten lucky and Purple hasn't been able to contribute too much, right? Like, you just, I don't know, the region is like palpable in this game, I think.
Yeah.
I guess like if you're watching this, that's like the main takeaway of this game, at least for the laning phase. Just buy more region.
Yep.
If you have too much, it's easier to like sell them and get your like your 50 gold back than it is not play without region. In terms of the current game state, do you think there's like a team that favors this at the moment, with everything being kind of a little bit quiet?
Let's see. I mean, I think the be-all, end-all late game is this Terrorblade. Like, Lone Druid obviously goes late. But knowing No Limit's kind of playstyle, I don't know. Because they went Quap Lone Druid, I'm expecting this to move away a bit from their kind of carry mid playstyle. But just knowing that that's how they tend to run things, and having the player that they usually have play position 3, play position 1, I imagine that will even out to Uranium Heart being the bigger carry at the end of the day. And that being a Terrorblade, I think, wins that. As far as for now in the early game,
Son of a!
I'm not sure who the Quiet benefits more.
Oh, heck.
As long
I can't
as
believe
Uranium
you've
Heart
done this.
doesn't grief and go Midas like he has a Q'd, he'll be fine.
I will
Surely he
tear
doesn't
you
go Midas this game and get away with it
apart!
again. I feel like last game was criminal.
I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I think it might delay his items by too much. But
I
if
agree.
he's able to buy Midas and still play in fights with Meta, then he just wins the game instantly. I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
I'm helping.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, the earlier pressure still feels pretty even. Like, Chaos Knight doesn't need much to get going. That's why they're okay to play it in the offlane. And I imagine we're going to see Bea playing very actively on this Queen of Pain. But, like, Brewmaster Snapfire Legion also screams to me, like, early pressure. Like, I feel like Shadow Demon as a support doesn't do as much in the early game compared to most supports. So when we think about the early fights and the space creation for the carries, I feel like I expect that to favor GREGBOYS, but No Limits is already up 3-0, so I might already be wrong.
Could see Bea really take advantage of the long cooldowns. Just because I don't think the No Limits lineup needs their ultis to do stuff on the map, right? Like TK, your main threat will be Rift into Bolt. You have that on top of the Melodic. I feel like that alone is enough to kind of kill a squad, right?
Yeah.
Whereas on the other side, even if you get a Praetor Blink, you still need to play around kisses.
Yeah.
So I think that might, like, if Bea can take advantage of that enough, that might be the one limiting factor. As if he stays around long enough, Praetor might just get Sonic Waved. This could be really awkward. Bea doesn't quite hit 6 on that creep, but Praetor would have surely been dead by by all rights there.
Yeah. At 6 now, so Praetor's gonna have to be careful.
Yeah. See Bea already getting the mana for it. So, both... Oh, actually, Bea doesn't have a ward for the rune though. Goes to 50-50, it doesn't guess it right. But Praetor doesn't instantly go for it, so... All things considered...
Nice move now.
Might still get the
Praetor.
Alright.
Like, I did have the vision on that anyway, so it realizes exactly when
It's literally
going for it.
As Bea is getting a Midas, so that's gonna be a lot of their early control gone. Yep.
Yeah, it looks
Might
like
still turn it into a treads, we'll see.
Yeah, even on the more active hero like the Queen of Pain, still leaning towards the end game plan is Bea. Top lane can get the root onto X2, but is going to be able to send Uru away. Waddle on out of there.
The lack of regen. Yeah, you can see xDiv buys itself, but since it's not preemptive, he's gonna struggle to get these creeps if Slaymate's like zoning him off properly.
It looks like Tombstone was also used. I think that's why Slaymate's a bit low. Bot side, Uranium Heart is falling low to the Maledict. They have the disruption for the save, but there's still a couple ticks to go, and the last one does it. The killing spree for this Witch Doctor. Finally caught one of your kills, Vlad. Apologize for the previous mid lane. Is something happening? Saw quickly on the map. The Esteemed mid was up on the other side of the high ground. Thought maybe a duel was coming out.
If careful, a duel could come out, but I think it's kind of hard to get caught by it at this stage.
Yeah.
This is the lane position, I guess.
Dire's courier has been killed.
As Slaymate's courier dropped, that's a bit unlucky.
Knows the risks.
But already had the boots on the bear, so that's kind of what he was looking for. I would hope that he gets to survive to level 7 before he has to resummon. But Purple just gonna chip away at the bear bit by bit.
Yeah, the bear's gonna chip away at Popo.
There is
No, this is back and forth.
Dire's middle tower.
Bear's gonna pick
Now,
up the
XC
haste
is rushing the
rune.
vessel.
Raider's just gonna follow this gank, but much slower.
but Bea-
Uranium
wait,
Heart is
Uranium
sitting
Heart's
here
not
low,
dead.
immediately gonna get shockwaved. And Praetor cannot get there in time to help get a save. So just a clean little haste gank from Bea. And Uranium Heart having a tough
get
opening to this game.
To base as well. Oh, but Vlad staying around might get dueled.
Yep. Praetor is gonna grab the duel here. Nice and quick. No chance for response.
I mean, seeing as they had vision there, I'm kind of surprised they got caught by that.
Yeah.
But, you know, Praetor makes use of the TP there. So at least he gets something, but that was almost bad for them. Now Bale, does he spot the ward out there? I think he knows it's there, but can't de-ward it just quite. So, I see components of the treads now, so we'll see if he opts for that or not. As Vlad's gonna TP, not gonna find anything, but you know, he's level 6, so this guy's fat as heck. They are looking towards top lane, but both his safe lanes have moved.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Vlad TPing to cover that off. Now, Bayo might jump onto Kratos, but it doesn't look like they want to commit to Death Ward just yet. There's no cast, can't really lock him down. As, yeah, they're just gonna control the runes. Ensure that Bayo gets this one.
Regeneration.
Oh, Praetor's gonna
Kratos
drop
takes the
the
regen
ult.
rune, but gonna take a lot of damage for it. Can he
Vlad
TP away in
dropping
time
the
though?
ult.
Bayo just doesn't play.
Just TP's away.
But that's really huge. A Death Ward for the Legion Commander losing temper again. He's trying to rush the Blink, but if this happens, the Blink's gonna be really slow. Like, ulti. I would not like to see them make a play there. I feel like it might be the misallocation of resources. They should head back towards the Chaos Knight here. He's having a pretty good game. Like, in terms of last hits, he's not like dominating or anything, but considering he had 6 last hits at 5 minutes, I think this lane's gone perfectly fine for him. He slowed it down a bit, and TB's still getting pressured really hard, so.
Yeah, Bayo's in the area. Nope. Oh no, that ward
Yep,
gets spotted.
pings up the ward. Has no TP
There
from
is
mid.
little hope for Dire's
So this is gonna be a
Seems
good
like
run
he's gonna
again.
get that up.
structures are fortified.
We'll use the fortify.
So Bayo's gonna fake heading back towards mid, but if there's another observer here, it might spot him out. I'm not sure yet. Seems like they know.
Yeah. Honestly, this is almost.
Structures
I mean, just like nobody's getting farm except for Plaid Pirate down here right now. Like Baya's just sitting here hoping to find a gank. Uranium Heart's sitting in the trees getting absolutely nothing. And then Praetor's getting all this damage onto the mid tower. So you're kind of just trading mid tower damage for Chaos Knight farm.
Odd, but it's probably like not too bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
As Bayo gets another haste rune, so they should spot this out. Oh, but Praetor doesn't actually have a ward, so might not be aware. Okay, well Bayo shows now, so they'll know they'll know that he has haste. He can run bottom. Uranium Heart has a Sunder, but you know, buying the Midas doesn't give you the stats you need to survive this. You get the Sunder off, but you know, he's just gonna get instantly death warded. Vlad gotta find the solo kill if Bayo doesn't just finish it off himself, and he does.
Or no, it does. Sorry.
No, it's all good. We hit the TVM right there. So good. And yeah, play Pirate's just gonna get dueled on the tower.
Pick that up.
Bayo, yeah,
Have to
I see
pass
TP
back
down
away as
here.
well.
But with Praetor long gone, I don't think Bayo's ever killable here. You're just gonna get pressure away, just gonna blink towards mid, farm that up again. Top lane tower already fell. X2, despite having a really good last hit lead, just the amount of times he got shot on the tower is gonna result in that being broken, but you know, overall, not too bad. Get the split off, so Slaymate is gonna have to copy the turret. Nothing happened there. I mean, the real life droid's lifted, but do they have the damage? Snapfire's not level 6.
Oh, they
So
killed
just
the bear.
instead.
They have a resummon available.
Lifted again. I mean, Azrael's here with the tombstone. They could bail him out if they want to,
Yeah,
but
they're
I don't think
burning
they're gonna try.
So much of the
They're just gonna let Flamemate's like, he's resummoned the bear under the tower. If he doesn't live through this, that's
Oh, they have the
100
kisses
seconds.
into the
That's
duel.
bear. Oh my god. Are you serious?
Banished to interrupt Vlad. This tombstone is gonna start doing work, I think. Oh, nice cookie to finish off that kill. Now they're gonna turn towards the tombstone. Greg and X2 falling pretty low to those zombies, but won't ultimately go down. Yeah, that ends up being 2 kills for GREGBOYS
Dire's top tower
off
is
of that
in danger.
engagement.
Cute.
Radiant's
misstep from Slave It. And especially resummoning the bear while he was almost certainly dead
Yeah.
was definitely not the play.
Radiant's bottom tower is in
And,
danger.
Lone Druid literally half a hero. So, you know, just gonna have to play passive for the time being. It's kind of not what you want when you play Lone Druid because you have such a hard Mask of Madness timing.
Radiant's
But
bottom tower
overall,
has been denied.
Uranium Heart just committed off the bottom lane. So if they're paying attention to this TP, they should be able to kill him.
It gets pinged out, Plaid Pirate sees it, and they have this nice
Yeah.
deep behind the tower. They're thinking about it. It did finish the Midas, as did Uranium Heart. Both heroes that you didn't want to build Midas built Midas.
Bale gonna whip the Sonic Wave, just buying a little bit of space for the Undying to get out of the door.
Yep.
He pops the Flesh Golem, but it has no mana, so I don't think they have the damage to kill Praetor here. They're just gonna walk off. So that's the 120 cooldown committed. Has no mana as well, it should just base. But meanwhile, they are running towards X2, who has split in 10 seconds with the kisses. And pick up the battery along the way, so just gonna grab runes. I would like to see them just...
Look to their top tower.
I think compared to last game where Bea is like expected to be the carry, I think this time he's trying to force too many things to happen.
Yeah.
I would kind of like him to kind of slow down his game and get a little bit more iron, because I think he can do a lot with like a Witchblade and a BKB this game. But he's gonna he's giving a lot of space for supports, which is okay, but I don't think it's the more efficient map spread, especially when you're picking like someone that's so gold reliant. Freda has no mana, but he has a Mango and Sticks, so they're gonna look at him.
Yeah, they're rotating in
With
Plaid
everybody
Pirate
else there.
and Vlad. Both off
It is
lanes.
curious.
Coming in here, not finding much. They did get the mid tower there before Bea arrived.
Yeah, like all the chip downs that Freda got eventually got the kill, right? And,
Yeah,
he's
pull
actually
into
gonna
the
get
Malediction
Jarvan. They have
with
to
the
disrupt
Death Lord.
him, but not gonna come out in time.
They turn into
So-
a duel, and they actually find the duel before Praetor goes down. Here come the kisses. Not gonna connect on to much. They're gonna bring the Chaos Knight down out of the tornado into a ton of damage from that last kiss. Lift again.
Didn't get
The
the dispel, so
split
his
ends.
Sonic Cap's gonna miss the CK. They could turn onto the have the
Oh, there's
Sonic
the
Wave
Sonic
again.
Wave onto 2. Plaid Pirate is falling so low. Does end up going down around the same time as X2. Now Slaymate's here to clean up Popo. Can they find more? Can they find Greg? Slaymate running forward with this bear. As Greg found out at the start of the game, cannot disperse the bear. Can disperse the main hero. That does not count as being far away. However, Slaymate might be too far. Praetor's here. Does have duel available, but the true form is going to arrive during the route, and that will allow Slaymate to get out. Now Praetor jumps forward looking for a duel, finds 3 heroes and a tombstone. They're immediately going to drop another Death Lord and pick off Praetor. Hobo's rotating in, could be in danger as well, but Bea's low on mana.
That was just hurtful from Praetor. A little bit ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was... Depending on how much information they had about where these heroes went, I don't think they expected to find more, but I don't know if you were going to be able to bring down somebody else. It's mid, they pull back X2.
Because you knew
They get a
they
nice
were there,
cookie
like,
to get
on
the
the tower.
walkout,
Oh.
though.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, not too bad. Another haste rune for Bale. Dude, this guy just materializes the runes he needs, man. Uranium Heart's on half HP, so by the time Sonic Wave is up again, if he isn't healed up, he needs to play so much more passive.
Yeah, not a ton of deep vision from No Limits now, though. They're getting some bot side. Maybe, not actually putting a ton down while they have this positioning. And they're gonna smoke and run at this bear. Performs back up in about 10 seconds. So we'll need to find something there. They're gonna find a lot more heroes now, though. So they get the duel onto the main hero of Lone Druid. Meanwhile, oh, they're gonna turn that into cookies to pick off Slaymate. They get the kill on Greg in the back, so 1 for 1 so far. But better for the side of the Radiant. Praetor now gonna be forced to TP away from Bea. Try to survive. Now Popo actually
Yeah,
has to
exactly.
dance around, but the haste screen has been used, so that's just going to be a dead Snapfire.
I like your vinegar, but how could you compare?
And Bay's making stuff happen despite the Midas. It's just an extra 2,000 gold of free space for the TP, who unfortunately used to have to get a Midas of his turn. But overall, like, this is kind of what we expected to see, just at like 11 to 12 minutes, right? Or perhaps even earlier. But overall, not too bad. Now, Bayer gonna go for the Maelstrom. So, rather than seeing, like, you know, these Witchblade, Kaya-san kind of things, he's just gonna go for a right-clicking build. I would still like to see him get the Shard at some point. Just because, even without Spell Amp, like, your level 20 still lets you one-shot waves with just a blink and then scream. So, it lets you play the map really fast. You don't have to show too long on waves at all. It makes it really hard to trace. An Invis rune for Bayer, but he has no mana, so I would like to see him just run to base, but he's gonna opt to pop it instead. And instantly cancels his Invis with the blink, so not gonna try to like trap something, but just using the bottle rune to farm.
Yep.
It's not too bad.
Now they're going to get a pull into the stun on X2. Can they find enough damage? Doesn't have Primal Split available for 40 seconds. They drop the Tombstone, get the Reality Rift. TP will not be able to come out fast enough. So nice, another nice pickup for No Limits. 4K net worth lead. As Bea and Uranium Heart battle it out for the top of those charts. But the rest of Dai are not far behind. A lot of that lead is the difference in kind of the side lanes.
For sure.
Like
Like, Prada and X2, their game hasn't been the best. Obviously,
Yeah.
we saw Prada's lane was a bit of a struggle, but also, like, X2 kind of can't find a place for himself after having to get Vessel so early.
Yeah, it's felt like we talked about at the tail end of the pause, like, which teams are looking to make things happen early, and I was expecting more from the, like, Legion Snapfire Brewmaster. Like, that feels like a really good early fighting team. I feel like the problem is just the durability on the side of No Limits. Like, Chaos Knight is hard to kill from the beginning of the game. So now they're going to look for a duel onto the Witch Doctor. This should be a nice, easy duel, so that's good for GREGBOYS. That's what they've been looking for. 76 duel damage. So they are
76
finding the
duel
duels.
damage,
Like, we've seen some duels not be won, but overall, Praetor is getting this stacking that they want. Is Bea going to lurk in these trees? Maybe try to find something here. Maybe try not to be found themselves with 4 heroes surrounding them. They get the vision with the mirror image.
Where is he gonna blink to? Alright.
That's where they're
Gets
going
into
to,
the rating
but
triangle,
up to the
so
high ground.
gonna juke that up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nicely
no,
done.
no ward there, so a really good read. They had that deep ward there too, so that kind of gave Bea the just enough knowledge to feel safe going that direction.
Yeah. Dude, I love this Arcana so much. It's like, it sounds so nice to look at. Anyway. It's just nice. I don't know. Okay, you kind of see the Midas, like, like, when you put it into perspective that he's going Maelstrom as well, like, at least, while it reaches Pharmacy, he also gets attack speed out of it, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But, don't try this at home, kids. This is when you have 400 plus games in your hero. You have 680 on your co-op.
I think it was Zach that I cast another game with. I just hold that thought because
Praetor's just
dead.
gonna instantly get deleted.
But they get a nice
The
catch
Sonic
on
Wave
X2
onto
with the
X2.
Sonic Wave. Mortimer's Kiss
Oh,
is coming
but
out in
that's
response,
not-
but they're just so durable. Like that, there was a full Mortimer's Kisses used,
Double kill.
and they all have almost full health.
I mean, this is what we talked about. Like, they needed a counter for this, like, all the healing, right?
Yeah.
But until they get Shivas, they just don't have it. And
Yeah,
like,
they've
Undying
got
and
the
Wishwalker
Spirit
just
Vessel.
gives so much health, but even without the supports, it's just a lone druid
Yeah.
with Spirit Wing and Freefall. Like, all these heroes just not going to die. So they're gonna get this mid tier 2, and they can even look at Roche.
They get a Reality Rift onto X2, but is going to have enough speed from
get out of
the
it
Storm
barely.
stance to walk away.
Yep. Baya's gonna TP towards bottom. Has the shard available, yeah. So, reading my mind, still got the shard anyway. Or maybe I'm in his mind. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, I mean, all things considering,
Oh, I
No
remember.
Limits
what I
is
was gonna say.
really starting to get the tempo.
I was casting a No Limits game with Zach, and Zach, I think in the post game was very direct with Bea about the builds that Bea was going were not
The one, right?
meta. Were very old-fashioned builds. I think this is another one of those, or just like wants to still be a right-click core even with the abilities to playmate on Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, this is kind of the build that you go when you're like really comfortable on your hero, you know what they can do, right? So, like, while you would look at this build and be like, oh, well, he has no early game tempo control. He's still
another duel
like
onto Vlad.
Yeah, cut that
Pick up the kill, but
Praetor's stuck in the middle of everyone with no blade nail.
Huge reality rift. Slaymate's gonna be in trouble too. Not able to get to the true form.
Dude, this fight is so chaotic. What is happening? Azul's gonna die.
All of the damage though, they've figured it out, and it's Metamorphosis with a Manta. Is now they're able to chunk through some of these heroes. With Bea
Wait, he can even kill Uranium Heart if he finds him. Bea's looking for him. Down in the trees.
Yep.
Has
the
one
blink
blink
with the silence.
Oh, he hits the creep
From the shard. Oh,
one
it's
more
gonna be
E,
able to
don't use
TP,
it.
doesn't have the damage.
No! Unlucky for Bea. Does not find Uranium Heart. But he managed to get 4 kills off the back of that fight.
Yeah.
Almost. Like 2 kills, 2 assists. Gold swing still in the favor of New Limits.
Yeah, and almost all of that, 1,100 gold to Uranium Heart. It's actually huge that they managed to get out there.
Oh, Bea doesn't have a TP available. Doesn't
Yeah, the
have
Spirit
Cinder
Vessel.
Brews.
Oh, they
find
get it!
him.
And the duel too. Really nice pickup there.
Not even a contest.
His first death. That's a big swing now. We're gonna fight recap. Dude, that was 1,000 gold to the side of GREGBOYS.
Yeah, 700 for Legion, 300 for
the Brewer. You got to just click 2 buttons. Very lovely. But once the corp gets Lincolns, I think this gets a lot harder to kill it. She's level 19. The next highest is 16 on Slaymates, and then 15 in the other cores of GREGBOYS. Like,
that's actually insane.
Bea is so unbelievably overleveled. Partially due to the Midas, which I've been blaming him for, but like still. Yep. Okay, they're gonna look at Roche. I like this, because Slaymate has the bear to tank it if he needs it, but also the bear now, with the Mask of Madness, does enough damage that he can just have his main hero tank. Like, between the zombies and the main hero with Spirit Link, like, this is a free Roche for them.
Yep.
It's just unlucky, I would love to see them kind of wait for Bea to respawn, because I want Bea to have the Aegis. But it's not like he, like, particularly needs it, as long as he's not getting focused, right? They can still put it on...
Oh, Praetor.
Oh, Praetor gets caught out the Roche
absolutely
pit.
caught out. They had no reason to believe that No Limits was in the Roche pit. And so it'll be just a quick pickup for Plaid Pirate.
Tip coming out from Bea as well, he knows. That was such a big swing for them to just secure the Aegis like that, along with a pickoff. The outpost is controllable, but it looks like they're warding up the triangle instead. Purple's gonna run into the ward and the lone druid. Has a force off, but can't
with the
quite get out.
No, there's no chance.
There's actual yoink start with the decay. Nice. Good support. I mean, AK League, you could imagine they start pressuring the base. They need to force the TV back into the base. Like, with just the Manta, he doesn't have quite enough stats to just fully tank through a fight. As long as they can pick him off early. Uranium Heart's gonna TP out, like TP away, so he'll live through that one. But the rest of his map is starting to shrink really fast. Bea almost hitting that level 20. That's gonna be so big for his game.
Yeah, so before the Roche, I was looking at the graphs, and despite just a 5k net worth difference, it was showing over 80% in No Limit's favor. We're up to 91%, which is strange because it feels like very recently this game was very even.
But No Limit's been kind of winning fight after fight, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if they keep playing the way they've been playing, like, this is surely, like, this game is so hard to carry for Uranium Heart. We've seen him do it, but this is not easy. He has some Metamorphosis available, so they need to force this out during the Aegis timer before they can truly hit the high ground. And, oh, Slaymate pops the Savage Roar. I guess he just has the shard, so he wants the move speed, but
Yeah.
That is not exactly what you want.
It's a bit
Without the
hard
Savage
with
Word, he
the
could get
Aegis.
dueled. He's gonna get perked that. They pop the Metamorphosis now, so 50 seconds, they kite this out, and the turret blade can't fight.
Yeah, Bear has to TP away to survive. They'll have a resummon. It's actually pretty awkward having the Aegis on the Lone Druid, because your life is more about your Summon Spirit Bear cooldown than your actual life.
For sure. But overall, it's like, as long as he plays the way he has been, and he markets nicely, like, the Lone Druid TP, like, you have to give it to the Bear, right? That's just something, you know, you kind of do autopilot when you're playing Lone Druid for enough time. And now the Metamorphosis is expired and instantly Slaymates on the high ground. Now, actually, Play Pirate gonna get chunked down really hard with the Armlet and the TV losing, but not too bad overall. Bear's gonna help clear that out a little bit. As the BKB pop, the Lincoln's
The
on
Lincoln's is there!
Introx duel.
And Mortimer's Kisses was
BKB
committed
down from
too.
Credo for 90.
They were not expecting the Lincolns.
Oh my god. Wait, that opens up the high ground now. There might not be any creeps, but I think the backdoor is still disabled because of mid and top. So there should be an opportunity. Azrael doesn't have Tombstone available, but the amount of damage they're doing already.
Yeah,
they can be popped by Play Pirate.
It's
So
kind of just the
the
reverse of last game. It doesn't feel like, even with all of these heroes up the high ground, that they've fully committed. Because it's just the sustain they have. Like, they can all sit there. They know some of these spells are on cooldown. X2 gonna jump forward, has to be careful.
Slaymate gonna destroy the tower for that.
Yep.
As they don't have a way to pop the Lincolns on Bayo right now.
Now X2 is way back in the middle of things. Flag Carrier is going to go down first. Bobo trades their life, and now they can duel onto Vlad, so this could actually be dangerous. Slaymate will be able to clean up Vlad. Uranium Heart gets the deny on the tier 3. In the backlines, though,
Slaymate is
X2
just
actually
killing
finds
through
another
backdoor. That's the melee racks down.
Yeah.
X2 is gonna drop as well. So 2v2 now, but Praetor
now
and
Praetor
Rojo
steps up to
short
try to
winners.
help X2.
Oh my god!
It's just gonna go down
The
as well.
entangle!
And they're gonna commit meta. Can Uranium Heart bring down these heroes? Bea is getting low. There's still an Aegis on the Lone Druid, though. You have to kill the actual bear, which is on very low HP.
It's on a
but still has the resummon.
Oh my god. That was catastrophic for GREGBOYS. They almost had that fight, but Bea and Slaymate just making it happen. 20 seconds on the Aegis, and that's... Surely you're happy with that one. 5 Wraith Bands on the main Lone Druid.
Yeah.
Kind of doing work.
Yeah, that's...
It's a little bit grief, but...
No. It's actually
it's
pretty good, because when you get past the 25-minute mark, the stats double. And so one of my buddies also plays Lone Druid, and he'll usually fill his inventory with Wraith Bands after 25 minutes. Just because you get, like, 4 armor per, so with 5 you're at 20 armor, you get an absurd amount of attack speed and agi, like 50 agi from 5 of them. It's a nice way to fill out the inventory, better than having just like nothing on the main hero until your bear is 6-slotted.
I mean, it's not like his bear's suffering for it either, right? It's like his item timers are still hitting.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna get the duel onto the main hero, though. Aegis has already been down, and they have the Mortimer's Kisses combo, so they find the kill on the big bad bears.
I'll dig that.
Yeah, Slaymate just wasn't attacking something that would give him the shared lifesteal, so he wasn't sustaining through that duel enough. You could see when the bear actually started hitting somebody that was doing a lot of work to kind of sustain him, but yeah, I mean, keeping the bear focused on the tower for as long as he did definitely got him killed, I think. I mean, he just looks so tanky with those Wraith Bands, right? But when he doesn't have the HP pull out of true form, like, he will just die to the duel, so...
Yeah.
A bit unfortunate, but...
Yeah,
you know,
this is
not a thing that's, like,
still
easily replicatable.
Right. Yeah, this is still a 160 dual damage Legion Commander. The duel, no matter how tanky you are, it's still gonna hurt. Bea gets a mean courier pickup on Popo's courier.
Paraphrase is
of what was on it.
Yeah. I had a Void Stone, so I'm assuming that was part of Lotus. which would have been pretty nice for them.
Yeah,
Dude, Bale,
it looks
Bale's
like that was the
attack speed is
first
so
part
nice.
of the Lotus they were buying though, so
Yeah,
not
yeah.
too big a deal.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Because imagine if that was like the last answer, that would have been so painful. At least that one you can kind of shrug off and be like, okay, well, that was just a bit unlucky. As Bale gonna blink forward, just perking at the cooldowns, you know, as pops do.
Well, Vlad gonna get picked up by the
duel
duel again. You can tell this Witch Doctor is sick of this happening because they have the Lincoln Sphere queued up. It is going to eventually find the kill on Popo and just TP away, knowing that this squad that just ganked the Witch Doctor is on the way.
I mean, two components left on the Lincolns, and then, like, suddenly they just don't have many things that can cancel the Death Ward or the Voodoo.
Yeah, it is kind
they're
of
gonna check the rush.
like a BKB replacement here for the Witch Doctor, alongside the Glimmer Cape, of like, how do you pop it if you can't directly target it? Like, basically you have to get a cookie onto him, and that's not an easy ask. Because you don't want to be positioned that far up as a Snapfire in this game. Sometimes you can get away with it. I don't think you can into like a Chaos Knight and a Queen of Pain that's doing all of this damage. Full Mjolnir on the Queen of Pain as well, almost how the Shiva's done.
Yeah.
Like, you just cannot cookie yourself, and it's very hard to try to accomplish the communication of a teammate aiming themselves at an invisible Witch Doctor to get the cookie. Like,
Yeah, while you're gonna be maledicted and death warded, like,
right.
yeah, it not. I think this is actually really, really good from Unusual, like, or Vlad rather. I think that's really good. Is Bear gonna play forward? Not finding too much. Doesn't have the Shivas to get the high ground vision, but it will in a bit. As Praetor, meanwhile, is just taking the top tower, but he's gonna trade that for potentially a bottom Rax.
Yeah.
He has a TP back, but can he get anything
BKB
off?
Blade
They
Mail,
don't have
can
the
they find
lead
a duel?
available.
They'll get the Undying with the ult, the Sonic Wave actually going to survive, and now it'll be Praetor that falls. And they are just getting cleaned up by this bear, having to buy back on 2 heroes already. Chasing back to get a nice cookie on a Slaymate, though. Still does not have much time left in true form. Can they find the kill? Bea's back in to try to help, but the tornado from the Storm Bear is there. True form ends. Can they find this? They're going to focus on the bear. They get a blink from X2. Almost finishes. Can they find it? No, he TP's out! That's an insane TP away! And now all of the damage coming out from Bea, though, is going to get punished here. The Scotty is ready on Uranium Heart, almost a full Daedalus as well. Wait! Oh no, that's X2 that goes down at the end.
Yeah. Slaymate lived on 40 HP in that fight. Barely got the TP away after the Shadow Poison. That was so close.
Barely.
They just couldn't find him. I mean, Bea, a little bit of an interesting blink at the end. I'm just gonna hop on that one again, because it's funny to roast Bea. But, like, I mean, 2 rats. Like, there's 1 lane left, and TB only just completed the Scotty Daedalus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he has the damage to compete with even the Chaos Knight right now. He has 4,500 gold. Like, he's already bad, and it's gonna get worse. Now,
Slaymate, they're gonna get a duel onto Slaymate here. Can they have enough damage? They don't have Metamorphosis, and it's going to be Praetor that goes down.
The Slaymate gonna continue hitting the mid tower. The TP available, Praetor getting instantly destroyed by
the reality,
and this is the Praetor buyback. He's dead.
I think this is just game. Slaymate getting low though. They may be able to find a nice catch here off the back, but is getting healed up.
He has no Spirit Bed. Spirit Bed, did it get TP'd away? It did get TP'd away. Or is it dead? I can't tell. I can't see it.
I'm not seeing a Spirit
It is dead.
Bear
It is dead. It is dead.
Yep.
It died. Oh my god.
So
They
no bear
barely saved that.
for a bit.
But in 20 seconds, there's no Praetor for 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Once the bear's up, they can just take the high ground again. Bear's gonna TP towards top, because the bottom after wasn't captured, but... I mean... Does it even matter? Like, do they even need him? He's gonna start blinking towards the Roche as well. Not gonna check it. Just wants to focus his attention on mid. Has the blink cooldown available as well. In the 25 talent. All the cores are so fun. Like, this is just TB against the world right now.
Yep.
Is they're gonna start running forward. Phantasm pops. There's a Mjolnir on the real CK, so
Oh, they get another
instantly gonna
reality rift
go
onto
onto
Popo.
Purple.
Tower's already down. They're just gonna focus down on the racks. And GREGBOYS without Praetor here, they've committed a few ults, and they find the damage. The bear's gonna start getting low.
He's gonna
Get a
put
nice
Sonic
sonic
Wave to make
wave just
space.
to help.
But Play Pirate
Get
walking
away.
back in, gets
Yeah,
stunned
the
by
stun
the
comes out.
Earth Spirit.
BKBs, do they have the damage? They do. So kills through the BKB. Azrael gonna go down as well as Uranium Heart stepping up with the meta. Still no more Spirit Bear for another... Okay, no, it does have
60.
that Spirit Bear.
Okay, the Spirit Bear's available, but I mean they already have the Megas, right? They just look for Roche again.
Yeah, Roche getting pinged out.
And Bea has a double damage. Oh my god.
Invisibility.
I mean, this is just... GREGBOYS, it's not quite over. Like, the world of a Mega Kick comeback is still
this could be
available.
trouble. They spot X2 farming this wave, trying to run it down.
Oh,
The
he misses
blink
the
in
blink!
place. Oh,
Slaymate's not going to run at him for that, though. Maybe respecting the potential rotations coming in, just 3 heroes not showing on the map. But Roshan is available. Ninja Gear down, potentially even for the bear. But might just keep it on the real hero so he doesn't get blinked old. Seems like that is the option he's going to attack.
they are going to dip into
But he has
Roche
50
now.
armor, bro. Holy shit. I mean, Bea, look at Bea's attack speed. Pew, pew. It is fun to watch. I mean, he's getting a Hex as well for the TV. Oh my god.
They have a shard for somebody.
Oh, Purpose Courier gets killed again.
Oh. And
That was... He's one component away from the thing as well. There's 800 gold short.
Does
Just 'cause of his
anybody
buyback.
on this team need shard, or is it just taking up space? Did they
I
give
think
it to
it's
Undying?
just taking space. Okay, so Undying consumed it?
No,
That's
no,
good.
it's just in Lundred's backpack. They don't have anybody that can use it.
Okay.
They just need to deny it.
Yeah.
Or if they're feeling
Could it
generous,
get that,
give it to GREGBOYS.
Yeah. Good.
They have many heroes that could use... Almost all of their heroes could use shard.
He does have the shard, just the Legion, right? He just
Legion
got
and
for the
Shadow
armor,
Fiend.
and
Shadow
the
Fiend has
Shadow
full shard ags. Or Shadow Demons.
Let's see if we can make use of it. Like, obviously we've seen him play well, and like the spells are good, but Mega Creeps and 20k gold, dude, is a bit
Yeah.
much to deal with.
They're gonna look
The
for a
BKB
duel on
instantly pops-
Undying. Combo with the Mortimer's Kisses, but now just gets Reality Rifted. Duel goes the way of Azrael, who's gonna get Glimmer kicked out. The damage elbow is
Bea's
coming out into
dying.
Bea, into Uranium Heart, and X2. Bea is still alive somehow. Plaid Pirate is in the middle of all of these illusions, and they're not all their own. But Uranium Heart will be the one who goes down. Immediately buybacks. Meanwhile, Slaymate is on to the tier 4s. Can they just end the game? They immediately Reality Rift Uranium Heart. If he goes down, that's going to be the game. This Terrorblade has to get back. The Chaos Bolts come out. The
Slaymate
Ancient,
hitting
though,
the
at the
burn.
same
Look at the
time,
bear.
is just already
It's 1,000
going to be
HP.
dead. They don't have the tools to stop this team, and the Ancient falls. No Limits take game 2. The series will be split. Man. What-
Really, really good series. That game 2 just looked really convincing.
Yeah. Yeah, no limits, no joke with that bounce back in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were ready for the Lone Druid at all.
Yeah.
And all the players really, all of them really stepped up in that second game. That just looked so insane.
Yeah, everybody executing exactly how they needed to, and just the durability. Like, there needed to be something from GREGBOYS to cut through this absurd amount of durability. Like, in the early game especially, but throughout the game. Of just True Form, Undying Ult, the Flesh Golem, all of the health that a Chaos Knight has. And, like, they were finding the pickoffs, they were getting some of what they needed into those fights, but it was just all too much. And the damage too. Like Lone Druid just looked like an unfair hero in that game.
Yeah, the amount of times he got away with absolute murder, just nuts. I mean, this is what happens when you give somebody a hero that they're really comfortable in, right? This kind of game. I mean, it was a very, very strong performance. It even looked like, I don't know, the game didn't seem like that one-sided in the beginning, but once they got the momentum, it really, really swung.
Yeah, it was very even net worth and experience wise until like 23 minutes, and then it starts to slide. And it didn't slide that fast. And it's interesting, even when it was close, the win probability was like way past it. And I'm curious what the other factors were in that. I mean, it does pretty much follow the net worth and experience.
Yeah. I guess it's just like, with the way that TB's game was going, I guess he just knew he wouldn't have the damage to kill the heroes fast enough.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what we talked about when we said they would have damage issues with, you know, how lanes go. It's not like the lanes went that poorly, but once they got a little bit behind, you could see they immediately struggled to kill any of the heroes.
Yeah. It was like the 10 to 20 minute space where like it looks quite even, and if you look at the player net worth, you see Terrorblade in that time go from bottom of the cores to top of the cores, which is very impressive catch up for how Uranium Arts lane went. But just in the duration of that time, despite them taking so many fights away from the Terrorblade, letting them get that farm, the fights just weren't going their way to enough of a degree where like all three of Dire's cores scaled so well that it was like you said at the end, it was Uranium Heart against the world. Like at that 20-minute mark, yeah, Terrorblade's now top of the net worth. Right behind him are all three Dire cores, and then a big gap before the other two Radiant cores. Like that, just all of their money was on the Terrorblade, because everybody else was losing their lives making space, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think they managed to break that kind of 4 Protect 1 game. But, I mean, oh my god, that was nuts to watch.
Yeah.
It's kind of impressive to see them bounce back that convincingly as well, right? Because you'd imagine, like, you know, the first game was 16 minutes, and there has to be some level of exhaustion, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I mean, every time coming out of one of those long games, it's really hard. But I feel like a lot of times we've seen a long game one turned around and won by the opposite team game two. And I don't know if it's just like you feel that much extra determination to win after coming off of a tough game. Like I feel like you almost go overboard trying to reconnect, reset the mental state, and come back for game two. Like, I don't know, you want that revenge even more when it's such a grueling game like that. I think when we start getting into playoffs and we have 3-game series, I think that's where we're going to start seeing more of that mental tax. And like you see it more in pros because you're playing more series in a day, whereas we're playing these once a week. So it's not like too heavy from a 60-minute game. You're able to get that mental reset. You're determined to come back, and you see these teams do that reset and bounce back. Yeah, it looks like we won't have
everyone's gone, so we
interviews.
can kind of close it off here. Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Bea has to go to sleep because it's super late.
Yeah, that's fair. It is almost 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. Yeah, any final thoughts on this series?
No, I'm just really impressed with how Noma's played the second game, and GREGBOYS managing to break the high ground defense in the first game was also really impressive. I mean, cross-divisional matches so far have really kind of throwing a wrench into, I'd imagine, like what everyone's thinking in terms of the seeding and stuff. So
Right.
cool to see that some of us are managing to be competitive.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I think it's just nice.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. This is back-to-back weeks. GREGBOYS get paired up and go 1-1, which is really impressive.
1-1 series are the best.
Oh yeah,
you get to see the best of both teams, or a good part of both teams.
For sure. All right, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching, everybody who stopped by. As always, thanks for joining me, Chio. This was a blast.
Thanks for letting me join.
Absolutely.
Rated your call.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your night or day or morning or whatever.